Keeler Show today.
It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen?
Keeler's always in the know.
It makes me want to call him
and tell him where to go.
And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. First news, Keeler in the morning on WIBX. No Bill today, but we have a familiar voice and face filling in, although you can't see his face yet this morning. We're working on the YouTube live stream.
That's okay. I'm sure everybody's just fine with that.
Good morning, Andrew Derminio. How are you?
Good morning. It's great to be back here in Marcy, New York. No, seriously. It's been a little over a year.
You're right.
Exit.
You're right. It was March of last year.
Yes. So almost a year back for you.
Yeah, more than a year now.
So I'm very excited to be back here. I was very honored to be asked to co-host, and I do listen, quite frequently. So it's now I'm like a fan again, in the fan seat that is coming back to co-host here.
I do get text messages occasionally from you. I guess I'm letting the audience know about that.
Sometimes I weigh in on things, and
yes.
I appreciate you sometimes filtering it. Because it's like maybe that question shouldn't be asked, and I'm just going to go ahead and not answer that. So, or not ask that question, I should say.
So, how have you been?
Things have been good. It's just doing the real estate, also helping out a little bit over at BGM Supply. Shameless plug there. Joe Lode would be very proud of me. But things are going good. Got a wonderful girlfriend, which is a wonderful thing in my life now. We have a wonderful dog and the cat thing, and 2 cats, actually. So
oh, yeah?
It's a whole family affair, yeah.
Sounds wonderful.
It is, except for, when they all want to go out and, at the same time, and they're all, like, waking you up to be fed and stuff like that, Being a pet owner is very difficult. I'm not going to be one of the people that say it's just like having kids, but it's a lot of responsibility.
Yes, it is.
You want to go on vacation or something like that, it's difficult because you have to make arrangements for the pets and stuff. Which I've been able to, get to Florida, quite a bit, which is nice. And actually, my girlfriend, I wanted to switch with her. I took my dad on a fishing trip down to Florida, and the same weekend, she got to go to the Super Bowl. And I said, "Do you want to go fishing with my dad, and I'll go to the Super Bowl?" And so she went to the Super Bowl, and I went fishing with my dad.
Wait a minute. What did you say?
My girlfriend went to the Super Bowl.
Get out of here.
Yeah, she had like the Super Bowl experience. She had, she was up in a suite. And she met a whole bunch of cool people. Tracy Morgan hit on her. I said, "Don't get pregnant." And that's a true story. She, she got flirted on with by Tracy Morgan, and she met a whole bunch of celebrities and Shaq and all that. And she saw a really good game. So
how the heck?
So she had a really good. One of her best friends works for a cellular phone company, and this friend of hers won like a nationwide contest for sales, and she got to bring one person. So she picked my girlfriend, and I mean, I was getting the texts and the videos and the Snapchats, and was kind of living through her vicariously. I mean, she met some really cool people, including Tyler Lockett, Shaq. She bumped into so when she was getting to the stadium and she was going to the suite, there was an elevator, and like people kind of like clear the way, and like all of a sudden she explains it better, but she said all of a sudden I saw a shadow over me, and I'm like, "What's that?" And she turned around and it was Shaq.
Wow.
But no, but she had a good time, and so interesting story of all the people she met. Tyler Lockett of the Seattle Seahawks got his real estate license, so he was doing like a morning conference for a breakfast, and he was doing a talk to all the people that were in attendance at this event. And she had said that this, she got an autograph from me because she said, "I'm sorry I have to tell you this, but my boyfriend is a real estate agent." And he's like, "Oh, your boyfriend?" So,
but
it was she had a really good time, and I was excited for her because she's like, I'm like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, really.
Again, do you want to take my dad fishing in Florida and I'll go to the Super Bowl? But no, it was a good time. So.
No, that's really cool.
But how's things with you? Carter's grown up.
He's great. He's doing wonderful. He's 7.
Another baseball season for him?
Yes, we're just getting underway. He's been practicing, but nobody cares about me. They miss you. You haven't been here. So I wanted to ask you, the real estate stuff's going well?
Yes, and I'm going to say this several times throughout the show, okay? If you are ever thought about selling and you're a little nervous about how the market is and maybe your house won't sell, you need to sell because the inventory is very low right now, and it's still very competitive for sellers. Very competitive for buyers in the sense that, because the inventory is low, demand is high, and so we're still seeing some of that, bidding war stuff happen. The interest rates, they shot up pretty quickly, and that kind of stalled things a little bit, but now we're right back to if you've got a house to sell and it's in good shape and it's priced right, it's gone and gone quickly. And in some cases, over asking price, multiple offers. So, if you want to sell, if you ever thought about, maybe we'll wait a little bit, sell now because it's the time.
Wow.
And of course, call me. Of course, that's the biggest thing.
Chuck Lester chiming in this morning.
Chuck, how you doing, buddy?
He said, at least with Bill out, Fox Radio won't sound like CNN.
Oh,
nice to hear you again, Andrew, and good morning to Jeff and Davey. Of course. Good morning, Chuck. I figured he'd take a jab.
Good morning, Chuck. Good morning. I'm glad Chuck went down to BGM Supply and got him some supplies there for.
So, and what is that? What is that?
So, BGM Supply is a company that my cousin's husband and his mother own. It's a New York State certified women-owned business, and they supply HVAC, heating and cooling, water pumps, water systems, and plumbing supplies to contractors, right? And with the New York State WBE certification, she does a lot of projects for, big projects across the state, yeah. So, Marcy Correctional Facility, the Psych Center, things like that. They had a lot to do with Nexus, Wolfspeed, the hospital, which is looking great, by the way. I'm excited for the hospital's progress.
Yeah, it looks outstanding.
And it's funny, you still drive, and I couldn't resist getting into a little bit of the weeds here with having a little fun this morning, but it's fun to drive down Oriskany Street and look to the left and see the faded No Hospital Downtown sign, hashtag No Hospital Downtown sign, right across from the hospital that is nearly built.
You're not going to waste any time. You're getting right into it, huh?
Well, come on, we only have 3 hours.
Welcome back. So it's funny because I look at it and you ever see the black and white photos of downtown Utica?
Yeah.
I want to say the triangle, but that busy corner.
Yes.
And it just kind of takes you back to, and it makes you wonder what the people were thinking at the time and what was going on. And, there's hustle and bustle and, the person scurrying across the street, where were they going? Or the guy driving in the old car that they don't make anymore. And if there's one of those for 2020, in 3020 or in 2075, that picture of downtown, it'll just tell you where we were as a community, that there was this fight over a downtown hospital. Now, by that time, it'll be completely ingrained in the community. Almost anybody who probably lives here will have been born with it downtown in 50 years from now.
Well, and it's kind of interesting because Utica, and I don't want to cut off your point, but it leads to another thing that I think we're going to be discussing today with this Munson thing. People are losing their minds over the Munson rebranding, that it's just Munson now. Right, but remember when Herkimer HCCC went to Herkimer College, and there was this huge outrage, and now people are just like, it's Herkimer College, or the Stewarts in East Utica, right? Everybody was up in arms about the Stewarts in East Utica, and then you look now, and the same people who were protesting it, they meet for coffee there. So I think that's just a sign of the area, right, where people are like, I'm against it. I think Bill even had famously a little parody song, I'm against it.
Yes,
right?
I remember that,
of
course.
I think that's, very common for the area, and you have, I would like to think a small minority of people. A small minority of people who are usually against everything, and then, like you said, time passes, it becomes ingrained, and then they have to just get over it by force or by other means.
But just that hashtag No Hospital Downtown on the side of that building, I mean,
it's still there.
It's still there, and
there's still some hope that the project will be stalled and we'll just have a big building there. I mean, even That's why, it was really good to see Nexus be complete, and all that's happening.
Have you
right
been
now.
in there?
I have not been in there.
Oh, you have to go in there. I actually went.
I don't get the VIP treatment anymore to go and tour anything or see anything. I know it was open to the public, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I was going to say, I guess, well, Bill and I were in there for a tour early on, right as they were about to open, and he put up, in fact, Nancy Ford took a bunch of photos. Those are up on our website.
I did see that.
I went to the national, I'm going to goof it up, the Elite USHPL Premier Elite Hockey Tournament.
Yeah.
Is a national hockey tournament that was held in Nexus. There was, I believe, 26 teams, 30 teams. It's 18 to 20-year-olds, and this is kind of their final tournament before they go off to a college. Maybe some at Utica College. I don't know. But I had a chance to watch that championship game on Tuesday, and it was really cool. It wasn't like a packed house because those families are traveling. I think one was from Connecticut, and the other was from North Carolina. So, it wasn't like a jam-packed house, but it was free admission, so I took the opportunity to go in and check it out. I couldn't believe I didn't see Steph in there. I couldn't believe it.
I know he's at everything, including as Davey was saying, the Munson announcement yesterday.
Yeah,
he was present for the big announcement.
He was. He actually called me. I was walking my dog yesterday, and he gave me the whole rundown. He gave me the full report.
But I think that's, this may be anecdotal for the most part, but I'm seeing, because our office is downtown, we have a River Hills office right there in Franklin Square, right next to the new Need to Eat, which is the bakery there that's owned by Doug and Jay. And I'm seeing now, if I go down there on a Saturday morning or, any time during the day on Saturday, if I go down to the office, I'll see a bunch of young kids and their parents having, lunch there or breakfast there. And you're seeing in other places downtown and around the area. You're seeing in Utica Coffee, you're seeing a lot of that because that's what the Nexus Center is designed to do. Is it's designed to have people from around the country, utilize everything that downtown has to offer, including the hotels. And it's we've talked about this progress for a long time, and it gets back to the negativity. That's always there, but even from when I was new to this show and all these projects were just being announced or were in their infancy or just an idea. And it's really starting to come to fruition, and we're seeing it here, and we're seeing it with my business too. There's still a demand. People are coming into the area still, from all over the country.
Yeah. So you're hearing his voice, of course. Andrew Derminio is pinch hitting this morning, filling in, and no Bill today, but we're catching up with Andrew. We actually have a very busy program. We'll actually talk to Anna D'Ambrosio about Munson and the rebrand there. Oneida County Sheriff Rob Maciol later this morning. Rick Lewis from the Rome Capitol Arts Complex. We'll get in a Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week and some other things as well. A question or comment for Andrew, just give us a call, 315-736-0186, or you can send a message via the WIBX 950 app. And for those of you who follow us or watch us each morning on YouTube, I can tell you that I've figured out enough to go live. So there's an audio feed, but it's a black screen. So
okay,
we're working on getting the photo. In fact, I'm going to reach out to Bill right now. So it's so great to have a guest host in, not knocking any of the other guest hosts, but you know how to run the board here.
Yeah, it's like riding a bicycle. I'm right back in it.
You run the board, and I'm going to hop on the telephone. We'll be right back. First news, Keeler in the morning on WIBX 950 AM, 106.9 FM, and streaming live this morning on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Max Carbone, sales manager at Power Sports Utica. We are currently overstocked on 2023 Ski-Doo models, and we are offering up to $2,000 off sticker plus a $500 gift card for anything in the store. Kawasaki KLR models have $1,000 in rebates as well, and we have all colors and trims available in stock and ready for delivery. Kawasaki KLX models have $400 in rebate and up to $1,500 off KX models. Come visit us at Power Sports Utica, Central New York's Four Seasons toy store.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Are you considering buying an electric vehicle or a plug-in hybrid? Wouldn't it be nice to just fuel up at home with an EV charging station? Potentia is helping to make the convenience of charging easier for your home and your business. As a leader in green electrical projects, Potentia has completed hundreds of large sustainable commercial projects across New York State and are now getting into the residential market. No more stops at the gas station. Charge at home conveniently and economically. With New York State's zero emissions mandate by 2035, Potentia can help design, supply, even install residential and commercial EV charging systems at your home or your business. From permitting and design through the complete installation, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3 with a turnkey EV charging solution with various packages and options available. They guarantee your satisfaction with all their products and their workmanship. Visit Potentia at 4685 Middle Settlement Road, New Hartford. Give them a call at 315-765-6184 or view their website at potentiamanagement.com.
If you own a small business, you've probably been hearing a lot about the ERC, how it's worth up to $26,000 per employee, how easy it is. You know the spiel. So why am I still talking to you about it now? Because many of you still haven't filed a claim, but Innovation Refunds can help you close the book on this thing. They're backed by one of those big CPA firms the corporations use, so they can determine once and for all if your business qualifies, and it's free to find out. Go to innovationrefunds.com. That's innovationrefunds.com.
It's truck season at Steve Ponte Chevrolet. Find new roads with loads of inventory to choose from. Lease a 2023 Chevy Silverado Crew Cab LT, 4-wheel drive All-Star Edition, 39-month lease, 10,000 miles a year for just $498 a month. Or purchase a 2022 Silverado Crew Cab Custom 4-wheel drive Dark Essentials package. Get 2.9% financing for 72 months and receive $4,000 off. Steve Ponte Chevy, your lucky charm this March. Visit them on Route 28 in Herkimer or at StevePonteChevy.com. See why it's always easy to do business at Steve Ponte Chevrolet. Customer must qualify with top-tier credit with GM Financial. Lease offer stock number 23030. Must have current lease in household, 39-month lease, 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile, penalty over 32,500 miles, $1,000 down, first payment, all taxes and fees due on delivery. Purchase offer, stock number 22471. Must own 2009 or newer Chevrolet in household. Must take delivery by March 31st, 2023.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, 6:40. It's First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. Andrew is filling in this morning. We've got a lot to talk about. So Davey's telling me the phone lines are temporarily mangled, so we're working to restore that. For those of you trying to call in, bear with us. I do have a couple comments on the app. Al tells us we are up and rolling on YouTube this morning.
Good morning.
And it's nice to see Andrew's face on the YouTube stream. Also, John in Boonville, how hot is Andrew's girlfriend? Getting hit on by NFL players and subpar comedians?
Very.
Jeez.
Very. I'm very blessed. I'll just say that.
Of course, Andrew, today is the day one of the 162-game-long Major League Baseball season.
Very exciting.
It is very exciting.
I'm hoping to catch a lot more games. You know, this is the thing that everybody talks about being, somebody says, it's boring to watch on TV. Then go to a game. I mean, it's going to be a little bit more expensive with the Judge contract to go to Yankee Stadium, but take the time and go to the game. That's really where the fun is, the experience, the fan experience is greatest.
In fact, Andrew, there are 2,430 Major League Baseball games in a season.
Whoa.
And every team has 81 home games. The average ticket this year is about $35. Depends on the team, though, of course. The Boston Red Sox and New York Yankees average more than $60 a ticket. The average cost, meanwhile, for an Arizona Diamondbacks game or a Miami Marlins game is only about $20.
When you consider what it costs to do anything else or even go to the movies nowadays, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get again, this is last season. We got pretty good seats, close to the first baseline, just like in the middle of, between first base and right field.
Mm-hmm.
pretty far down in Yankee Stadium. They were only like in the hundreds. You know, you really.
Oh, is that all?
Well, no, like what I meant
They
was
weren't in
like
the
$120. Like think about it, you're only like 8 rows back for $120.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I mean,
that is pretty good.
That's going to change now.
This is a story that says, by the way, the average fan spends an additional $51 on stuff like concessions, parking, and merch. That's about $86 per person to go to a game. Now, think about that family of 4. And I know, by the time we get to next baseball season, minimum wage would probably be $55 an hour. But so that'll cover the cost of your ticket.
Thank God I don't drink anymore. I mean, that's the most expensive thing at a game.
Well, listen to this. Right, the average baseball fan spends $51 once they enter the park. Again, that's concessions, drinks, beer, other beverages, seat upgrades, parking, and team merchandise. I guess when you package all that in, it doesn't sound like much because parking can be like $25, $30 on its own, especially you go to a Mets or Yankees game. That makes the overall average $86, $300 or more for a family of 4. In a recent survey, 47% of people said they're planning on going to a baseball game this year, Major League Baseball. 58% said they prefer to watch games at home on television.
Yeah.
Some of that has to do with the cost. The average fan who is planning on seeing a game says they expect to go 3 times this year. In a separate poll, 42% of Americans say they have a favorite team. 22% have at least one favorite team. So this is the problem for baseball. This is why they have to make changes. Only 42% of Americans have a team. I don't know what the number is for football, but I'm guessing it's higher.
I think it's higher for football, but you notice with the NBA, which is one of the top sports that young kids like nowadays, they're very player-oriented. They're fans of players now. Because with the NBA, players are switching teams every season, it seems like. You talk to a lot of parents now, and they say, well, my kid likes this player in the NBA. So I think, not having a team per se is not a bad thing because then you won't run the risk of if somebody, moves the team, you're having people follow players more.
And this is, how they talk about when polling numbers come out, and I actually want to talk to you about the Siena poll. I don't know if you read it or saw it. I was kind of shocked by it. I wanted to get your reaction to it. We'll get into that in a second. We'll take some comments on the app, and if we get these phones working, we'll take phone calls as well. I was shocked by the Siena poll. We had Steve Greenberg on yesterday, and we talked about it. Sometimes when they do like presidential polling, they'll say the president's upside down.
Yeah.
He has more dislike than like, or more unfavorable than favorable. This is what the point I just made about baseball. 42% say they're interested. 15% say they're very interested. 42% say they're interested. 43% said they're not interested at all. So I guess I was only seeing the 42%.
Yeah.
If you factor in the very interested, it gets up to 57. But I don't know. We'll see. It's a long, long season, man.
Yeah.
Long
I think
season.
if you take that poll halfway through the season when you're getting closer to the playoffs, that might change a little.
And then one more stat, and I'll throw it at you because you are a Yankees fan. What percentage of people say they hate the Yankees? I'll tell you, 11% say they dislike the Red Sox. Only 4% say they're still upset at the Houston Astros for the cheating scandal a few years back. What percentage of people say they hate the Yankees?
Oh, man, probably everybody outside of the state of New York. So I want to say over 50%.
26.
Oh, okay.
26%. As I always ruin Bill's stats, you have ruined mine.
Yeah, I guess I was wrong on that one.
Okay, and then new rules. Any thoughts on those? You're pro the new rules because it speeds it up?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm with Bill on some of the things that, like I still want an umpire. I don't want a robotic umpire. But if it's something to speed the game up, sure.
I like the robotic strike zone.
I know you do.
This is no surprise. Yankees have the best winning percentage of any baseball franchise. Since they were founded in 1903, they've won 57% of their games. You know who has the lowest winning percentage?
Oh, boy. Baltimore?
Smitty, any guess?
Is it Baltimore?
Any guesses, I meant to say.
What's the question again?
Lowest winning percentage of any baseball franchise. The Yankees, since 1903, have won 57% of their games. Who has the fewest? It's 46.
Miami Marlins?
Oh, excellent, Smitty. That's a great guess, and he's correct. Miami Marlins, 46% of their games they win.
So
you know the only team that's never been to a World Series. I bet you know this, Smitty.
The Seattle Mariners.
Yes, the beloved. The beloved Seattle Mariners.
They're still a team? No,
yes, they are. So you want to get into some politics, or what do you want to get into here this morning?
We can. You're driving the bus here. I'm just a passenger.
Allow me to steer. Increasing state taxes. No, we'll skip that one. Give judges more discretion.
That's news? Just kidding.
Give judges more discretion to set bail for offenders accused of serious crimes. How many overall? What percentage do you think supports it?
These are New Yorkers that
Yes.
have taken this poll.
On the
I
bail
I would
reform.
hope somewhere in the 70 to 75 territory.
Yeah, overall it's 72%.
Okay.
Amazingly, 69% of Republicans, 76% of Democrats.
Wow.
More Democrats as a percentage than Republicans. I was surprised by that.
Do you think that's because of the what people are saying the rise in crime in the city is? I mean, you got to probably think a lot of the Democrats live in the downstate in New York City area, so they're seeing it directly, the rising crime rates there. I wonder if that has something to do with that 76%.
We get conflicting reports on what the statistics actually say. Is it up, down, and they count this year, and they didn't count it last year, and on and on and on. But, Smitty, maybe you can help me with this as well because you're on fire this morning. Who said, are you better off 4 years ago than you are now? Or were you better off 4 years ago than you are now? I can't remember what presidential candidate said that. I feel it's kind of the same way almost with crime. It's a feeling. Do you think you're safer today than you were then? Do you feel like there's more risk when you walk out to a parking lot after you go to dinner or something like that? And I think that's where a lot of that is contained in, is how safe you feel, regardless of what the stats say.
But also it's media driven too, right? I mean, if you consume a certain type of media, you're going to think one way, and that's just the way it is. I think that's with a lot of things nowadays. It becomes so polarized that if you're going to kind of tend to think a certain way based on what you consume. That's why it's always important to go to the source, listen to the source, and kind of make the conclusion for yourself.
So, state Republicans, the breakdown for who they want as the presidential nominee.
Okay.
Trump, what percentage do you think?
Oh man, I think there's a lot of people still loyal to Trump here. I want to say probably 65%.
52.
Okay.
27% for DeSantis, and 18% said they wanted
What's
someone else.
DeSantis'
That's
percentage?
27 among New York Republicans. Democrats renominate Biden, 43%. Someone else, 51%.
Wow.
I found that very interesting as well.
That is interesting, yeah. I'm kind of, if you're going to say who would you like to see, this might make shockwaves this morning, but I'm ready to move on to Ron DeSantis. I mean,
what?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's so much damage has been done, to the name, and everything else, and I feel like
what name?
The Trump name.
Okay. I didn't know if you meant Republican name or Trump name.
No, I mean, I think Ron DeSantis, there's a lot less that they can go after. They're trying. They really do try to go after him at every turn, but there's just a lot less baggage, so to speak. If you're looking at the two.
Yes.
For who should be the nominee. I think if you're a Democrat, I think you need to look for another option other than Biden.
Well, I think he thinks he's staying in, or at least that's what they're telling him right now, and I think Kamala Harris is going to be the vice presidential candidate. I read some headline that it's kind of been decided, or it was quietly decided.
Yeah,
that maybe that she would go with him again. I find that interesting, and as many gaffes as Biden has, to be honest with you,
and her,
I think hers are worse. I mean, some of the explanations.
Or as Jimmy famously says, the word salad all the time.
The word salad, yes.
Oh my God. It's just the clips from Jimmy's show is enough to just kind of make you smile.
How good is his show? Isn't that amazing?
He does a great job. And you know what? It was really good to see him when he came. I was able to bring my girlfriend, and we went with her parents and brother, and we had a good time.
When he was up last time?
Yeah.
Well, why didn't you call me?
Well, I didn't know if you were. I didn't know.
Oh,
yeah. I thought you were going to be at all the shows.
I was.
Yeah,
Smitty was there.
Yeah,
he introed all
Smitty
the
saw
guests.
us there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim Rondinelli was there too. But
He's
but
my
yeah,
friend.
exactly. I hear you get shout outs all the time.
Yeah.
But just back to the whole Biden thing. It's like it's almost sad because even if you think back to the 60 Minutes interview, where people get so outraged about certain things.
Oh, the
that
document
happen.
thing. And we don't hear,
When he was on, he did the 60 Minutes interview with Scott Pelley.
Okay.
And Scott Pelley asked him to defend his mental, faculties, and the answer was literally incomprehensible. Being as old as fly is, remember the way that he finished it off. And it's like, how does people not see that? How do people not see that there's something going on there? I don't know.
Well,
without getting too many people riled up this morning.
I guess I'll just let that settle. And if they get mad at you, then you'll be gone today anyway.
Yeah, and they won't be able to call in, apparently, because the phone lines are down.
We do have a couple of comments here. Mark says, how about Nikki Haley? He's ready for Nikki Haley. I'd be interested to see how she goes over nationally. Also, Ann in Rome saying this morning, as soon as I can get my phone open here.
Oh, she's probably disappointed with me.
No. She said, so happy to see you and Andy together on the show again. Andy's girlfriend is blessed to have him. So happy for him.
Thank you, Ann. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're feeling well, too.
Ann was actually, I saw Ann at the Jimmy Fallon show. As a matter of fact, he's coming back in the fall. I don't remember what Bill and I talked about on the air and off the air, so keep listening for full details. I don't want to let any cats out of the bag.
Well, I could tell you that he and Kennedy are doing a Laughs and Liberty tour, so I don't know if that's part of it.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
It'd be kind of cool. But, yeah, Jimmy's a good show. He just brings a fresh perspective to things.
And a hilarious one as well.
I love the drops. I got to meet, you got to meet the Link Man when you went to the show?
Yes, yeah. and his wife. We kind of chatted a little bit up in the freezer there in that back room.
The freezer.
So when Jimmy was up there, we were just kind of hanging out. So
I want to know where Ann is. Is she with the rest of the New York Republicans who are still going to stick by Trump, or is she moving to the Ron DeSantis camp, or somebody else?
And send me your answer, and we'll talk about that and a few other things. We'll take a quick time out. We have a busy program today. I actually booked a lot. I almost did my best, Andrew. I've got like 7 guests on the show today. So anyway,
we won't have time.
We'll have a Crime Stoppers Most Wanted Person of the Week. We'll talk with Oneida County Sheriff Rob Maciol, and we'll talk with a couple of local arts complexes locally. Rome Capital Arts in Rome, and now Munson in the city of Utica. We'll talk about that rebrand. That's all coming up here on the show this morning. It's First News, Keeler in the Morning on WIBX, 950 AM, 106.9 FM. And we figured it out. I actually had to call Bill and wake him up this morning, but we do have video on the YouTube stream if you miss Andrew that much and you want to go see him. Back after this on WIBX.
Refresh and renew your home this spring with Little Falls Lumber. They're fully stocked with secondary grade metal in all colors and 12-foot lengths. An affordable option for fixing utility sheds, roofs, or garages. Looking for lumber and tired of the warped pieces from the big box stores? Then go to Little Falls Lumber, where they stock only premium grade lumber. Stop in to one of their 3 convenient locations: Little Falls, Syracuse, and Schenectady. Little Falls Lumber, helping you refresh and renew this spring. Call 315-823-2470 or visit littlefallslumber.com.
Inflation is nothing more than legalized theft. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and to preserve your wealth, I highly recommend keeping physical gold in your retirement account. To learn more, text the word safeguard to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold, which is the only gold IRA company I trust. So text Safeguard to 989898 to request your free info kit right now.
Are you ready to make the most important decision for your child's future? Some are easy, some are not. Some make all the difference, like choosing Notre Dame schools. Offering grades pre-K through 12, your child will be ready to learn and thrive in a challenging atmosphere surrounded by great teachers and the most current technology. Notre Dame offers small class sizes, high academic standards, and spiritual fulfillment. At Notre Dame, we foster an environment of diversity and community. Students feel supported and more confident in achieving their goals. Our students learn from each other and are challenged to grow and develop their innate talents. Notre Dame is faith-based, but everyone is welcome. If you have higher expectations for your child, Notre Dame offers a higher level experience. If you're ready to launch your child's future into the most successful career path and build the next generation of leaders, call today for a tour or visit NotreDameUtica.org. Notre Dame schools, ready to learn, destined to lead.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Bless you, Smitty.
God bless you. You all
Bring
right
a
over
roll
there?
of paper towels in here, please. I'm going to wipe down the studio now.
Some Clorox.
So it is the first day of baseball, and we've got no bill today and no phone lines. So.
How about this? It's the first day of
YouTube's working, though.
Baseball season.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful day yesterday. We took the dog for a walk, and it was, basically just sweatshirt weather.
Yeah.
And it was sunny and nice, and oh my God, it's nice and warm. And then we went to dinner, and we walked out of the restaurant, and it was snowing. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, and it was snowing pretty heavy.
Then I
too,
remembered where I live, so,
So, Andrew, I'm playing this in honor of you. A real estate agent in London.
Okay.
Actually, no, it just says England. I put London in there. Anyway, the real estate agent has gone viral with a parody video tour of a house. She walks into a room doing her own version of the 80s hit, The Never Ending Story.
Okay.
You ever consider doing something like this, maybe to sell a house?
I'll do anything to sell a house, really.
Let's see. Let's see what this sounds like here.
There's so much here to see.
Oh, this is terrible already.
Ooh. Oh, my God.
This is real.
I'll pay her a commission to stop.
Oh, boy, that's brutal.
Well, this is...
I played enough of that.
This is a result of TikTok. And, this may be a very unpopular opinion, but I hate it. I don't care about the whole ban thing, because if you think you're not getting spied on just with any other app, you're crazy. But
Of course, the thing that makes it different is that it's owned by a Chinese company and the tie to the Chinese
right.
government.
And I mean,
right? So,
I do get kind of irritated about, their kids get educational stuff. And, I do believe that there is some of that going on.
Oh, sure.
But I don't see the appeal to it.
TikTok?
People are like, they love it.
Yeah.
They're obsessed. It's like they spend hours and hours.
Yeah, I saw yesterday that the average time an adult spends on the phone, on their smartphone a day is 5 hours. I actually thought it was more than that. But they're saying that like people are developing these conditions, right? These neck conditions.
Oh, yeah.
Or you kind of bulge, or I don't know exactly what the condition is called, but they're developing problems because their heads are
always down.
Always down. And they said it's like 50 pounds of pressure. I don't know if they said it was equal to 50 pounds of pressure per hour a day you spend on the phone. But then after that, they said that the average American spends more than 5 hours a day on the phone.
Wow.
We're wrapping up hour number one, a busy program. Andrew filling in this morning. It's First News Keeler in the morning, WIBX 950 AM, Utica, Rome. It's 7 o'clock.
A collision in midair. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. It's left a charred wreck on the ground in Trigg County, Kentucky. 2 U.S. Army helicopters crashed on a training mission from Fort Campbell late last night. Multiple casualties are reported.
Just a few minutes ago, it was a pretty emotional scene here. We saw a caravan, probably about a dozen cars, all law enforcement with their lights on. And we did see inside of an ambulance, and there was an American flag draped over what is believed to be a person that died in this crash.
That's Sydney Snow with Fox 17 TV. Near the crash site in Kentucky, a freight train derailed early this morning in Minnesota, and it caught fire, prompting evacuations in the small city of Raymond. A vigil in Nashville for the 3 students and 3 adults murdered in Monday's school shooting.
When words just can't carry the weight of what is in our hearts, we must reach out to each other.
Nashville Mayor John Cooper telling parents and friends of the victims they are not alone in their grief.
I lift my voice up into Nashville, Tennessee.
Sheryl Crow, one of 3 performers, Crow singing a version of her track, I Shall Believe.
I shall believe.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin reporting the 2 officers who killed the shooter were also praised last night. Some Republicans in Congress want that shooting investigated as a hate crime targeting a Christian elementary school. Democrats want stricter gun laws, and the discussion got heated in a House hallway.
Children are dying. 9-year-old children. The solution is not arming teachers. Have you ever worked in a school?
That's Congressman Jamal Bowman getting into it with GOP lawmakers. Another American is now jailed in Russia. A Wall Street Journal reporter, Evan Gershkovich, a first U.S. journalist arrested as an accused spy in Russia since the Cold War. Gershkovich had just written a story that Russia's economy is starting to come undone as it keeps waging war in Ukraine. America's listening to Fox News.
The Tunnel to Towers 9/11 Institute gives educators access to nonfiction 9/11 resources for K-12, first-person curriculum units with video accounts, the Discovering Heroes book series for kids, a speakers bureau with access to 9/11 first responders, survivors, and loved ones, a high-tech tractor-trailer that transforms into an interactive museum with 9/11 artifacts, Russell F. Siller Memorial Scholarships for exemplary high school students of program recipients who are preparing for college. Never forget, donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at t2t.org.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-838-1441. That's 800-838-1441.
We have mostly clear skies and 23 degrees. WIBX News Time is 7:03. This news update is brought to you by Mike Carl's Lucky Triple Bonus Sale with 3 bonuses to choose from. Save on your sales tax, get a free area rug, or get free interest for 1 full year. Mike Carl's in the New Hartford Shopping Center and in Destiny, USA. A Central New York pub owner is facing charges of tax fraud on allegations he didn't pay state sales tax for several years. That's according to the Madison County Sheriff's Office, who arrested Douglas Case on 9 felony charges, including grand larceny and 8 counts of criminal tax fraud. Deputies say he's the owner of Backroads Tavern in Canastota. Investigators claim that the business never filed or paid sales taxes from June of 2017 through February of 2020. All told, it's believed total taxes owed to the state are in excess of $68,000. Well, the World Series of Poker circuit event held at the Turning Stone Resort and Casino just wrapped up, and Sean Deeb, a very popular, prominent poker player, was the big winner. He's a 5-time WSOP bracelet winner, and he's been the World Online Poker Player of the Year 3 times. He's renowned for doing damage at the card tables in Las Vegas, but he's actually from Troy, New York. He played in the event at Turning Stone, winning the top prize, over $275,000. There were several other New Yorkers who were victorious and took home WSOP jewelry, and they've got seats at future tournaments. You can read more and see the winners at WIBX950.com. New York State getting $100 million to help close the digital divide. Governor Kathy Hochul says federal funding from the American Rescue Plan Act will connect 100,000 households to affordable high-speed internet. That program is geared toward underserved communities in rural and urban parts of the state. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer helped secure the money, saying it'll help connect communities to good-paying jobs, higher quality education, and better health care. Last year, New York State helped more than 1 million low-income households enroll in a nationwide affordability connectivity program. And for the second time in less than 2 weeks, have you ever seen this bridge out in Syracuse? A tractor trailer has struck the bottom of the Onondaga Lake Parkway Bridge near Liverpool. It seems like it happens a couple times a month. The vehicle hit the span of the bridge yesterday, did not get stuck underneath. The exhaust pipe, though, on the top was pretty banged up, dented and bent. No injuries reported. The driver, who is from Maryland, was issued a traffic ticket. Your WIBX Weather Center forecast calling for still a chance of snow showers this morning. Partly sunny by this afternoon, a high today reaching just 36 degrees. Increasing clouds tonight, an overnight low of 22. Friday, chance of snow showers early in the day, and then rain possible in the afternoon with a high of 47. Saturday, rain showers, maybe a thunderstorm as well. Breezy, but we warm it up to 64. Right now, mostly clear, and 23. WIBX News Time is 7:06.
Well, it's always colder down in the city. I don't know if the Yankees are opening at Yankee Stadium today. They are, and it'll be a chilly one if it's anything like here.
A 105 start, and it's usually warmer in the city.
It's warmer in the city, but today is officially the kickoff of the 2023 MLB season. For the first time since 1968, opening day will feature all 30 MLB teams hitting the diamond. The Astros opened their World Series title defense at home against the White Sox. Go White Sox. The Phillies are looking to rebound from their loss at the Fall Classic as they visit Jacob deGrom and the Rangers. That's weird to hear. A pair of Cy Young Award winners square off as Sandy Alcantara and the Marlins host Max Scherzer and the Mets. And out west, the Dodgers host the Diamondbacks. And the new-look Padres host the Rockies. The NBA may be nearing a new collective bargaining agreement. League Commissioner Adam Silver said he could foresee an agreement between the league and the National Basketball Players Association before Friday night's deadline to opt out of the current CBA. Silver said that both sides recognize it as a, quote, window of opportunity that we should try not to miss. The Knicks are hoping for positive news after star forward Julius Randle exited Wednesday's win over Miami with a sprained left ankle. Randle left the game in the second quarter and did not return. The 28-year-old will undergo further testing today. And the Jets owner is hoping to get an Aaron Rodgers deal done soon. I'm hoping so as well. Woody Johnson spoke at the NFL meetings in Phoenix Tuesday and told reporters the team is still optimistic about landing the Packers' star quarterback. Johnson said, quote, I think we're anxious. We're anxious, but we have a plan, so we're willing to stick with our plan, end quote. Johnson went on to say he doesn't think anyone is hyperventilating at this point. Green Bay's general manager recently told the media a first-round pick isn't necessary to facilitate an Aaron Rodgers trade. So, yeah, my guy is moving on, and I'm happy about it.
And you'll have, what is it?
Jordan Love.
Love, yeah.
I'm going to say something about Jordan Love. I was at the Packers-Eagles game, which was a lot closer than everybody thought it would be last year. My mom and sisters and I went to the game. My mom a Packers fan, my sister's Eagles fans. And Rodgers was hurt that game, much to the joy of everybody in the stadium, which was annoying. There really are the most brutal fans in sports. But when Rodgers went out, Jordan Love came in, and he played very well in a high-pressure situation against a very good Philadelphia team. So I'm optimistic about Jordan Love. Is he going to be Aaron Rodgers? No, probably not. Not right away. But there was a commentator that was saying, you know, any Packers fan who is happy that Rodgers is going to another team or is moving on, you know, is shameful or, you know, or screw you, I think was his quote. Why? I'm grateful that he was fun to watch for several years, and he brought us one Super Bowl. He had a lot of MVPs for only one Super Bowl and losing in the playoffs either in the first round or going to the NFC Championship game and blowing it. But why should we be, you know, not happy to move on when he's not happy to be a Packer, clearly. And last year, he didn't play well, and I think that, you know, it's not even so much him as a skilled player. He's getting older, and he can't move around like he used to, but I just don't think his heart was in it. So he's clearly moved on. Why shouldn't we? It's ridiculous. I know nobody cares about the Green Bay Packers. This Aaron Rodgers thing is such a huge controversy. I mean, Brett Favre went to the Jets. Look how that turned out.
Wayne actually told me to ask you. He wanted to get your thoughts on the Packers. Look, I'm just going to tell you, you're right, and you're just agreeing with me. I told you for years that Rodgers and your Packers were trash. So I'm glad you finally realized it.
Oh, it's so frustrating. Like I said, I would rather not make the playoffs than to go every year and then, you know, lose in the first round or go to the NFC Championship game and be that close and then lose. You know, Aaron gave us a lot of fun years. There was a lot of exciting moments, the Hail Mary passes and all the great moments, but you got to move on at some point. And people say, oh, you're going to become a Jets fan? No, I'm a Packers fan first. You know, you can't love the player, you have to love the team. And that's kind of the NFL thing. I mean, I think it's different for other sports. Like I was saying earlier, I think younger kids nowadays, they like to stick to a player in the NBA that they follow and will like. Mm-hmm. But I'm a Packers fan, and I always will be, and, you know, that's just the way it is. You're going to have star players come and go. I mean, it is a little different with football, I think. Yeah. I think, but I could be wrong. You know, because in baseball, there's many cases. The Pirates, you can argue, are one. The Reds, right, this year, the Cincinnati, Smitty, back me up here, the Cincinnati Reds, the third highest paid player on their roster this year. He's not even on their roster. But the third highest salary on the Cincinnati Reds is
Joey Votto.
Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey Jr.?
Not kidding you. Ken Griffey Jr. I mean, they're not investing any money in the team, but they're going to turn a profit. I bet you they will. Oh, yeah. I feel like in the NFL, there are some perennial bad teams, but I think in theory, everyone's working toward being a better team. There was the whole fiasco in Miami, and there's a lawsuit, I think, still pending that basically the coach said he was told to throw games so they get a better draft pick. But I think, and you're seeing this now in hockey. Yeah. You're seeing this a lot in hockey. Of all the sports, though, I think football is the
The most competitive?
Correct. Yeah.
I mean, when you've got teams like, Cincinnati, right? Cincinnati was absolute garbage for years, right? And now with Burrow at the helm, I think they're going to be a dominant force, for years to come. I really do.
But even Dalton took them to the playoffs a few times.
Yeah, I mean, but also if you look at, like you said, Miami or Buffalo, how long? I mean, if Josh Allen can just learn to play in the snow, I think they'll be okay.
And even Carson Wentz they had in Cincinnati. I mean, I'm not saying they were great teams, but anyway, when we come back,
Carson Wentz wasn't in Cincinnati.
I'm not Carson Wentz. Carson
Palmer.
Carson Palmer. Thank you, Smitty.
I love Smitty's brutal honesty.
Yeah, I love the way he says it. Thank you. No, but thank you for that correction because he clearly was not.
Andrew?
Carson
I was going to
Palmer
say
is who I meant.
I may get a little in trouble for saying this, but Hannah and I always laugh about how honest you were about Jimmy's opener. Oh, that was funny.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. I appreciate your honesty.
All right. When we come back, I've got a story about a child who went to school and in art class had to put something together, and he paid tribute to vodka because mommy loves it so much. We'll talk about that and a lot more. A busy program. Our phones are down. I apologize. Please send your comments via the app. We'll get to some of those comments as well. And I heard back from Ann. You might be surprised at her answer here. Might be surprised. Right. I'll share it with you on the other side. Is she still on the Trump train or not? 7:13, First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX 950 AM, 106.9 FM. And yes, we are streaming live on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Jill Hayes.
And I'm Scott Hayes from New York Sash.
Scott, what do you like best about what we do?
I like seeing the look on people's faces when we change their lives.
Scott, are you sure you're not getting carried away?
Hey, everything we do makes life easier and helps people love their homes a little more. Windows, siding, and how about our bathrooms? A new bathroom can be more than a cosmetic upgrade. It can also improve safety and usability.
Oh, you're totally right. Sorry, not used to that.
I know. But nothing's better than seeing the difference we make with a bathroom conversion, like a walk-in shower or a safety tub.
Right. It's peace of mind, better accessibility, and a safer layout. And they cost less than you'd think.
Plus, we can custom fit them. We're fully certified, and we can do the upgrade in just a few days, so you can safely enjoy your home for years to come.
Come see our bathroom accessibility options on display at the New York Sash Idea and Design Center on Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro. And as always, let our family take care of your family.
I can't take this kitchen any longer. Carl, we need to start looking for a new house.
Honey, you know the housing market is tight. It's going to be next to impossible to find something that we like.
I know, but this kitchen has to go.
Hey, what about a home equity loan from Adirondack Bank? We can turn the equity from our home into cash to renovate, just the way you want.
Renovate?
Adirondack Bank has competitive rates, and they've been a trusted community bank for decades.
A new kitchen. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
Then, of course, we would need new furniture, and we could repair the deck, even add a pool, and take that trip to Italy that we've always talked about.
Whoa, slow down, honey. Let's go talk to the experts at Adirondack Bank about that home equity loan. Then we can decide where to start.
I've always wanted to add on a craft room, and our bathroom needs a facelift.
Don't move. Improve. Stop into your local Adirondack Bank branch for more information on a home equity loan or visit AdirondackBank.com. Bank local with Adirondack Bank, your hometown community bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Max Carbone, sales manager at Power Sports Utica. We are currently overstocked on 2023 Ski-Doo models, and we are offering up to $2,000 off sticker plus a $500 gift card for anything in the store. Kawasaki KLR models have $1,000 in rebates as well, and we have all colors and trims available in stock and ready for delivery. Kawasaki KLX models have $400 in rebate and up to $1,500 off KX models. Come visit us at Power Sports Utica, Central New York's Four Seasons toy store.
Ew, gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks, no matter how many times I've washed it.
Tell me why.
No, you tell me why I can't get rid of this odor.
Have you tried new Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors, it helps remove them.
Wow, it worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in one wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy laundry products. Save on Downy Rinse and Refresh at Target.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, 7:16, First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. No Bill this morning. Bill will be back tomorrow. But a familiar face and familiar voice is sitting in Andrew Derminio. Good morning.
Good morning, Jeff. Glad to be back.
Yes, and the listeners chiming in, they are glad to hear your voice once again.
That's nice.
It's been over a year, I guess, since you've been gone. I can't believe how fast time goes by.
I know. A lot can happen in a year. A lot does happen in a year. So,
let me get to Ann here. I mentioned I'd tell you what Ann thought about Trump. You asked what? Was she still on the Trump train?
Was she still on the Trump train? Yeah.
Okay, so she sent a photo of a giant blanket, which I believe is in her living room. It says, "As you can see, I'm still with the best president ever." And then she followed it up and said, "My 401k misses Trump too." And she's certainly not alone there. Lance and Lee, good morning, gentlemen. Listening to an interview yesterday from the firefighters' representative, Samantha. As a Utica taxpayer and former government employee, it is my opinion that the Utica Fire Department is holding the rest of the city employees as well as taxpayers hostage by not voting on the contract proposal that they were offered. If you do the math and the insurance goes up because of the self-funded option being reverted back to the traditional with an increase of $2 million, the city taxpayers are responsible for 70%, with employees having to come up with the other 30%. Mr. Carcone and Vice President Samantha, as he calls her, I lost part of the comment there. Mr. Carcone and Vice President Samantha is it cut off there? Should let their members vote on the plan. They may not like the results when it actually passes. Sorry for the long rant. So we've been talking about the fire department and the ongoing budget discussions. We actually had Mayor Palmieri on to talk about it.
Really?
He claimed, I know, I was shocked too. He claimed that
well, he's also public safety commissioner.
Yes, that Tommy Carcone, the union rep, did not present the plan to the membership for a vote. And this was going back a few months. Then it went to arbitration. It's been in court, et cetera. And then FX in New Hartford, and I don't know if this is to Andrew or just the audience in general. He says Trump supporters should consider DeSantis over Trump. Trump will continue to be under attack by the media and left if he wins, making it very hard to get things done. The geopolitical situation is the worst it's been since pre-World War II, and our economy is moving towards stagflation. Strong leadership is needed in the White House to calm the world down, and as we move toward another world war and economic collapse, DeSantis is more grounded and focused and could get us off the path that we are on.
If you look at the two candidates, I'm just comparing the two candidates, based on resume and who they are. They're essentially, they have a lot of the core same beliefs and principles, right? They're outsiders. They're they're not with the status quo of things. Ron DeSantis, went to the Ivy League schools and was looked down upon because he's this short wearing kid from Florida, right?
It's interesting. I don't think I've ever heard this description of Ron DeSantis, but I'm enjoying it. Go ahead.
But that's it. I mean, he was, somebody who, wasn't accepted by, the establishment or all the people that were usually, you would see at a Harvard or a Yale where he went to school. And he's, was in the military and everything like that. So I think he's just a little bit more, as FX said, grounded, less baggage, and doesn't give in to the media as much as Trump does.
What do you make of the possible indictment over the Stormy Daniels?
We'll see it if it happens. I'm not convinced, but
and I'm not convinced either. And I do think it would be completely political. But I think he's the one who leaked out that he was going to be arrested. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah,
and nothing's happened since.
If I'm not mistaken either, I think he was one of the ones that kind of broke the news about the raid in Mar-a-Lago, too, because as soon as it happened, he went on Truth Social and was like, "Hey, I'm being raided," I think he's somebody that doesn't shy away from the negative attention, but that's, I think, bit him in the butt a lot.
Yeah, and he's kind of become the, and a couple of examples, please don't send your hate emails, but he's kind of out there shouting, "Look what they've done to me now. Look what they're doing to me now." And, right, I would imagine, and we saw this during his first term, it's incredibly difficult to govern because it's always some circus sideshow that's going on when he's in front of a microphone.
Yeah, it's not really about the message. It's about fighting. And you saw that a lot with the COVID. I think that's what hurt him. The press conferences, like the COVID updates, he should have probably, in hindsight, just let Pence and the rest of the people handle it. But he would go up there, and that's where you had the bleach comment and, the other things.
Terrible.
And just he stepped in it a lot. a lot of decisions he made, he could have just. It would have been easy to just, hang tight, not say anything, don't be the center of attention, but that's how he is.
And did you see the hearings that were going on yesterday?
No.
I actually kind of had to see myself. I saw myself yesterday kind of agreeing with Bernie Sanders. I'll try to pull some audio on this. They were grilling the CEO or the top guy at Starbucks. Go ahead. Is it Starbucks?
Oh, yeah, the Starbucks thing, yeah. Something about he's trying to bust up the unions and everything like that.
Allegedly there were employees who were pro-union or trying to unionize, and they were punished, I think.
Starbucks is always the center of some controversy, whether it be their holiday cups or they want to allow their baristas to have tips, God forbid.
Because I'm confused. That's what came up yesterday, that they weren't allowed to have tips, or maybe the employees who were trying to unionize weren't allowed to have tips, so they lost an average of $4 an hour for a certain amount of time.
But here's the thing.
Go ahead.
If you go to work at Starbucks, I guess this is anything, and maybe this is a stupid argument, but it's like you choosing to work there. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And I guess if, you want to join the union, you want to join the union. There's things that come with it. Sometimes you can't not join the union.
Well, but that's the thing. Well, first of all, look.
Like, is there an option? That's what I don't understand.
No, so they're trying to unionize.
Okay.
It's a fairly new process, I believe, for Starbucks and the employees.
Mm-hmm.
Some I think in some cases they were able to move forward and form a union in that particular, I'll say, city or market or area.
That group or whatever.
The other thing is, though, take this for what it's worth, and you can call or send a message via the app if you want to agree or disagree. My perception has been, I'm not saying it's right, has always been the union was for like a skilled type of a work, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're in the carpenters union or the electrical, or and again, with all due respect, but and I'm sure there is, I know there's a fast food workers lobby, but to be in the union.
What are you going to? We're going to go on strike. Nobody's going to get their coffee because I'm going on strike. Somebody's going to go somewhere else.
Is that what we'd be talking about?
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, if your local Starbucks people went on strike, what are you going to do? Make coffee at home? Go somewhere else to get your coffee? Go to Daylight. Hell.
Yeah, Daylight's
forget
very
Starbucks.
Good.
Go to Daylight Donuts.
I tried that Almond Joy coffee.
Oh,
I had it twice this week. It's very good. You should check it out if you haven't.
That's the thing is, I do enjoy some flavored coffees, but since I've switched to drinking coffee black, it's very easy to tell the difference between a good cup of coffee and a bad cup of coffee.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, it is 7:25. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll give you the Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Most Wanted Person of the Week. I've got a crazy story about that kid who went to school and the thing about how much mommy loves vodka.
Oh, yes.
We'll talk about that in a minute. And a principal in Florida has resigned. Apparently got on the phone with somebody, thought it was somebody famous, and scammed the school. This principal walked the money virtually down the hall. The school, I believe, was scammed out of $100,000.
Oh, boy.
We've got some details on that coming up as well. First news, Keeler in the morning. Bill is back live tomorrow, just off for a day. But Andrew Derminio is sitting in the interim. It's First News, Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Are you considering buying an electric vehicle or a plug-in hybrid? Wouldn't it be nice to just fuel up at home with an EV charging station? Potentia is helping to make the convenience of charging easier for your home and your business. As a leader in green electrical projects, Potentia has completed hundreds of large sustainable commercial projects across New York State and are now getting into the residential market. No more stops at the gas station. Charge at home conveniently and economically. With New York State's zero emissions mandate by 2035, Potentia can help design, supply, even install residential and commercial EV charging systems at your home or your business. From permitting and design through the complete installation, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3 with a turnkey EV charging solution with various packages and options available. They guarantee your satisfaction with all their products and their workmanship. Visit Potentia at 4685 Middle Settlement Road, New Hartford. Give them a call at 315-765-6184 or view their website at potentiamanagement.com.
Refresh and renew your home this spring with Little Falls Lumber. They're fully stocked with secondary grade metal in all colors and 12-foot lengths. An affordable option for fixing utility sheds, roofs, or garages. Looking for lumber and tired of the warped pieces from the big box stores? Then go to Little Falls Lumber, where they stock only premium grade lumber. Stop in to one of their 3 convenient locations: Little Falls, Syracuse, and Schenectady. Little Falls Lumber, helping you refresh and renew this spring. Call 315-823-2470 or visit littlefallslumber.com.
Every day at NBT Bank, we focus our business around all the ways we can help yours. We're large enough to offer leading business and digital solutions, but local enough to ensure personalized one-on-one service. So turn to NBT Bank for a full range of business solutions, like capital and treasury management services, even fraud protection, and see how NBT Bank is just the right size to help you do big things. Visit nbtbank.com to learn more and start a conversation. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-885-9955. 800-885-9955. That's 800-885-9955.
Hi, I'm Jill Hayes.
And I'm Scott Hayes from New York Sash.
Scott, we've been saying, let our family take care of your family for years. But you know, we don't often stop to explain what that means.
Good point. I hope it speaks for itself. At New York Sash, family is everything, and it's how we treat our customers, too.
Exactly. So, for example, if you need windows, siding, or bathroom, we'll make sure to get you the best products at the right price, and we're committed to doing the job right. We aren't happy until you are.
Being invited into people's homes is something we take very seriously. And over the years, thousands of families in our community have trusted us for help with their homes. And now they're part of the New York Sash family, too.
So if you ever need help, trust us to be there for you, just like family. We're ready to help because that's our promise when we say, let our family take care of your family.
All right, off to sunny start this morning. We have 22 degrees and mostly clear skies. Looking pretty nice out there, but it's chilly. WIBX news time is 7:30. This news update is brought to you by Harley-Davidson of Utica and Power Sports of Utica. Stop in today to check out their large selection at 4870 Commercial Drive. Well, people in a tiny Minnesota town are being ordered to evacuate after a train derailed overnight. The local sheriff's office said in a release that the BNSF train derailed and caught fire near Raymond. There are reports the train was carrying ethanol, forcing nearby residents to evacuate their homes as a precaution. The victims of Monday's school shooting in Nashville are being remembered in a candlelight vigil. First Lady Jill Biden says Mayor John Cooper were among the mourners who attended last night's vigil in downtown Nashville. 3 9-year-old students and 3 adult staff members were killed in that shooting at the Covenant School. The U.S. Army is confirming several casualties after 2 military helicopters crashed in southwest Kentucky. The Army did not say how many crew members were killed or injured. Officials at nearby Fort Campbell said 2 Black Hawk helicopters with the 101st Airborne Division crashed last night during a routine training mission. An American journalist reportedly under arrest on spying charges in Russia. State-run Russian news agencies are reporting that authorities detained Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich about 900 miles east of Moscow. He's accused of collecting secret information about the Russian military-industrial complex. The state board chosen by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis to oversee Disney's World Government Services says Disney stripped it of its power. The Orlando Sentinel says before the state took control of Disney World's district board last month, the entertainment company quietly pushed through a development agreement that will keep Disney in power for 30 years. Today's the opening day for Major League Baseball, and some rule changes have been made this year to help speed up the game. The most visible change is the new pitch clock, which affords pitchers just 15 seconds to deliver their next throw and 20 seconds with runners on base. Those runners may have an easier time stealing bases because the bases are now 20% bigger. There's also a cap on the number of times that a pitcher can throw over to a base to check on a runner, which is 3. Oh,
I do like that change, yeah. But here's the thing. So, it was mentioned in the interview yesterday. The batter, asking for time. Are they not allowed to do that anymore? How does that work?
I don't know exactly.
Because that would impact the pitcher's clock. You could certainly, say, "Oh, I need a break, timeout." Does that stop the pitch clock?
I believe as long as you haven't called timeout and the clock is ticking, the pitcher can throw the ball.
Okay, but if you're the batter and you call time to adjust your glove, does the pitch clock stop?
I don't think so, but that's another thing. Why do batters have to adjust their gloves?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be part of the strategy. If you're down, what are you going to take 10 seconds on a 15-second pitch clock? Come on. You got to think things through.
All right, I went and looked this up just for you. The grand jury investigating former President Donald Trump is taking a month-long break. This broke yesterday. According to reports, the break is due to a previously scheduled hiatus, which involves New York City schools being on spring recess. It also pushes back any potential indictment against Trump. The grand jury is hearing evidence involving alleged hush money payments. It's not even alleged. He says it. They've owned up to that part, haven't they?
She got paid by somebody.
Involved alleged hush money payments Trump made to adult film actress Stormy Daniels in 2016 to cover up an affair. WIBX News Time, 7:39. A quick look at your Weather Center forecast. Boy, we were up into the 50s yesterday, almost mid-50s, and then we bounced back with snow overnight and looking at a high today of just 36 degrees. We will have partly sunny skies for much of the day today. Again, 36 your afternoon high, increasing clouds tonight with a low of 22. Chance of snow showers Friday before noon, then rain expected in the afternoon. Tomorrow's high 47. Saturday, rain showers, maybe a thunderstorm as well with a high of 64. Your forecast comes to you from Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint. Our man, Uncle Smitty, is in the other room. Are the phones working? No?
Nothing yet.
And we did the whole thing that we do?
Yep, I did all the jiggamarole.
Okay. All right. So at a minimum, we're going to kick the Joseph and Andrew Hobica free money question of the day into next hour for sure. Because if we can't take any phone calls, I don't know how we're going to do this. Also, Smitty's telling me we're likely not going to get the Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week, huh?
No, because they call in.
And we can't call out either, can we?
Yeah, we've tried calling. Yeah, we can't get a dial tone. Yeah. I do want to say it's good to hear from my good buddy Jim Piccola, reminding me, of course, that I should have mentioned that it's Red Sox opening day as well, their home opener in Fenway. So go Yankees.
Good morning, Jim. I heard somebody say this week that another change in baseball. This isn't, I don't think, considered a rule change, but there's a schedule adjustment. I think they call it a more balanced schedule. So teams, like the Yankees, will play fewer games each against the Red Sox, Rays, Blue Jays, and Orioles.
So less divisional games.
Correct. So I think you typically would play 18 or 19 a season against each team in your division. I think that's being rolled back to like 14 or 15. But anyway, the point being, the Red Sox, the last couple of years against AL East teams, only win like 38% of their games.
Yeah.
But against everyone else in the league, they had like a much higher winning percentage.
So somebody who's a Boston fan had something to do with that, I'd imagine.
Well, maybe not. Nagel wants to know what kind of show we're running today. It's some patchwork.
Good to hear from you, Nagel.
And Sal Barbero, the umpire, who roped me in.
Yeah, I'm glad you're finally doing it.
I am finally doing it.
You've talked about it for years.
I've got the uniform. I've got some equipment that's coming in the mail now. There's a lot of stuff you got to get.
That's got to be starting soon. You're going to be calling your first game shortly?
Yeah, in a couple of weeks.
Is Carter in T-ball still, or is he in minor league now?
Said good to hear Andrew. He's in minor league, but they break it down to like minor A and B.
So you'd have to recuse yourself from
No,
any
and
Carter's
I wouldn't be
games.
doing any minor league games.
So you start at Little League?
Minor league games, yeah. Well, I think you start with school ball, which is like modified. Not many programs have JV anymore, and then of course there's varsity. But I think typically first-year guys get a lot of modified games, and then maybe this summer, I'd be eligible to do Little League games.
Nice.
And Legion ball, I guess in some cases. But they want you to get experience. It's tough,
Have you
man.
been
There's
practicing?
so much to learn.
Have you been practicing your...
All right.
You got to commit, right?
All right.
That's the biggest thing Sale talks about?
I'm checking here. Yeah, right. You got to sell it.
Yeah.
You got to sell it.
You got to be confident.
You can't be like, strike?
Oh, you'll see those fans go nuts.
Just
those parents go nuts.
remind me of Leslie Nielsen in the Police Academy movies.
Doing the
First getting
moonwalk?
Everybody down. Strike, and then doing like a moon dance and circling around.
So
It sounds like you got like a phaser going on in that microphone or something.
Yeah, something's not right with it. Sal said that, you got to stand in front of the mirror, or Bill asked me, and we had like a little joke about it on the air, and a guy named Doug, who I think used to umpire, or maybe he still does, he's like, you got to stop laughing. They're not going to take you seriously, and all the other umpires are going to think you're making fun of them. Now, look, I wasn't making fun of them.
So it's a balance, right? It's a tough balance between
not
kind of parodying yourself or what the umpire is and actually doing it.
And I was just saying it would be funny. Like, you ever go over to someone's house and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I just took a nap. I got my robe on," or "Oh, I'm sorry, I got my slippers on. I just got whatever." I mean, imagine come knock on my door and I answer the door with a full mask on. I got the umpire's uniform, chest protector. I'm walking around with a cup and long gray pants that need to be hemmed. I mean, I just think that would be a funny.
Are you going to be?
That was what made me laugh.
Are you going to be a point to the side strike caller or a?
I believe so. We're still hashing it out.
Okay.
Yes, the votes are still being tallied.
Well, that'll be fun. It'll be. I think you'll be good at that.
So typically, again, this is my understanding.
Until you're replaced by a robot, then you won't like it too much.
No, I probably won't. But I don't think ultimately I will be.
That's good.
So the guys, the veteran guys, and I think varsity ball begins as early as next week. There might be a few games this coming week. They want you to go because, again, there's so many things in mechanics, right? Like where you go when the balls hit here and who's got this base and rotations and all this stuff.
Lots to think about.
There is. So what they want you to do is really go watch guys who've been doing it for years, go to a game that's not your game, and just don't even watch the game, just watch them.
Well, I think probably the one thing to remember, and I'm not the person to be giving you advice on this, but I'm going to anyway, is just to commit. Fake it till you make it, even if you're wrong. Just commit, You want to make sure that you I've done it all my life, Just be confident and move on,
Don't want to be
admit when you're wrong and move on.
And then move on. Yeah, do your best, whatever. So I was going to give the phone number. We can't. The phones are down. You can.
So
send
I
us
shouldn't
a
go to
comment
your
via
first
the
game
app.
and heckle you.
No, I feel like the more people I know, the better chance I get out of there unscathed.
Yeah,
so
there you
I'd
go.
appreciate it if you came, maybe made a banner, some pom-poms or something.
Go blue.
Great pitch, great call up, something like that. I don't know. So we are up on YouTube this morning. You can comment there as well. I'll take a look at some of the comments. And in just a few minutes, we'll talk with Oneida County Sheriff Rob Maciol. And just like Nagel, I know most people are wondering, what the heck are you guys doing this morning? I apologize. It's Andrew and I don't apologize. I apologize that I'm here. Andrew is back. Everybody's excited about that. But just for one day. Just for today. Because
I'm honored.
Bill is away today. So he said, we need to get Andrew to come fill in. Andrew is in this morning. Bill is back live tomorrow. Where was I going? Oneida County Sheriff Rob Maciol coming in just a few minutes. They're trying to get Narcan, and I'll just say it like this, and he can explain it. Trying to get Narcan into schools because going back a few years, there was a high number of. He's got the number, but it's in Oneida County alone. It was an alarming number of people who overdosed deaths. It was like 18 and younger. Yeah.
Wow.
So I think 70%
that linked to
of the
the
cases
vaping?
were
Is that
fentanyl.
is that
No,
linked to the
it's not.
vaping at all?
I don't think it's got anything to do with the vaping. I think it's because it's mixed with drugs. So we've got some thoughts on that. We'll take your thoughts as well, but they're trying to get it around more. And look, regardless of how anybody feels, I know some people get upset about this.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be doing this. I just, we've seen it at the local state prisons. We've seen it at the local county jail where just exposure to this drug, it's in an envelope and somebody in the mailroom touches it.
Yeah.
And then they start overdosing. I mean, we talked to a state corrections officer. This wasn't the only issue with that he had, but I would say it was the issue that kind of broke the camel's back. He went and, found a new job. Just didn't want to do it anymore because he almost overdosed.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things that are difficult about being a corrections officer in New York State right now. So
Absolutely.
Feel for those men and women, and we thank them for what they do.
We'll take a quick time out. I do still want to get to this story about the school superintendent, but we'll talk to the sheriff as well. First News Keeler in the morning, 742 on WIBX.
Hi, I'm Max Carbone, sales manager at Power Sports Utica. We are currently overstocked on 2023 Ski-Doo models, and we are offering up to $2,000 off sticker plus a $500 gift card for anything in the store. Kawasaki KLR models have $1,000 in rebates as well, and we have all colors and trims available in stock and ready for delivery. Kawasaki KLX models have $400 in rebate and up to $1,500 off KX models. Come visit us at Power Sports Utica, Central New York's Four Seasons toy store.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey Culligan, I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb, it's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Finding great people to hire is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's pretty difficult, right? Well, ZipRecruiter has mastered finding a needle in a haystack, so they take it to the next level. They make hiring so simple that it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. And that's why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of needles. So how do they do it? ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job, and you can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, 744, First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. Bill back live with us tomorrow. Andrew Derminio is sitting in, and Oneida County Sheriff Rob Maciol has joined the conversation. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Very good.
It's good. I'm glad that for my guest hosting appearance that you're one of the guests. One of the favorite when I was here.
Seen you in a while.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
And how is it out there? Cold?
It is cold. Everything is frozen. Everything is slippery. Yeah, it's nasty.
I can't believe it. You know,
It's
the
going to be
difference between
67 on Saturday now.
Central New York weather. Gotta love it.
My crops are my famous crop at our farm is growing like crazy, and that's mud. We have more mud than you can imagine.
Well, that's one of the things about having the dog is we get the fenced-in backyard, but the dog will come in and you have to clean the paws.
Yeah.
But that was one little bit of relief this morning is that the ground was so frozen there was no mud on the paws.
Well, and we're talking like 1,200-pound cows.
Yeah, there's no
they're going to step right through that ice. So.
Yeah.
But it's really impressive to see what how far you've come on the farm.
Yeah, we're doing well. It's busy.
I remember you said it was a hobby farm, and
we started out with 2 cows and a donkey, and we've in 8 years, my wife and I, along with the help of numerous friends and relatives that are farming, with a lot of background in farming, we've grown. I mean, we fluctuate a little bit, but we hover around that 50 cow. We have about 50 cows. Oh my gosh, 50 cows, 4 horses, 2 donkeys.
Wow.
A bunch of dogs,
partridge
and a bunch
in
of
a pear
barn
tree.
cats, and so we got a little bit of everything.
It's funny. Bill was saying the same thing about when he started at IBX. He said, I started out with 2 cows and a donkey. He's been here for 10 years now. You believe that?
The longest probably tenured spot for Bill, right? Still,
I think
is that
so.
what they say?
Yeah, I think so. He cost me some money with that one. So, good morning to Sheriff Rob Maciol. We wanted to talk to you, the Opioid Task Force, and this is obviously a critical issue, especially when you look at the volume of overdoses and the number of instances where authorities have to respond to resuscitate somebody. because of a drug overdose. So can you talk about, I understand the chairs, yourself, the district attorney and the county executive recently meeting with local school districts.
Yeah. This is obviously something we've been dealing with for a few years, not only in our community but across the nation. County executive has continued to strive to make sure we're doing all that we can in this community to battle this war. And it's very frustrating. I mean, when you see, literally hundreds of overdoses a year, and when 80 or 90 people die annually in your county, that's a huge problem. So, and I said it right out of the gate years ago, we can't arrest our way out of this problem. That is part of what we do. I mean, we're obviously trying to find those responsible for bringing this stuff into the community and hold them accountable. We've really prided ourselves on thinking outside the box, doing different things, whether it be through treatment programs, peer support programs, medical return boxes, trying to get unused medications out of homes and businesses around the community. But the one thing we found that works, obviously, is Narcan. Naloxone, the name brand, it falls under Narcan. Most people most commonly know it by. Obviously, Narcan will stop the effects of an overdose. And we know that countless lives, we can safely say hundreds of lives, are saved annually in this county alone because of Narcan. But the thing is, we need to get Narcan out in the community as much as we can, because you know what, even if obviously our focus initially was getting Narcan into the hands of people who are fighting addiction, families who have loved ones who are fighting addiction. Then it moved to public places, because again, you could be in a restaurant, have absolutely nothing to do, whether it's you not dealing with the addiction or no one in your family, but you're out to dinner and you step into a restroom in a restaurant, and lo and behold, there's someone overdosing. So you would be able to save a life. Not only that, but let's talk about people who are accidentally or inadvertently exposed to something, like heroin or fentanyl, where, again, you may not be the one that's even involved, but just because you're in the same vicinity and you come in contact and get exposed, that could save your life. So we've really strived to push that out throughout the community. But the one place, and I think the thing that really brought it to the forefront is when, we haven't had any overdoses by children in school or kids in school. But outside of school, we have had documented overdoses of teenagers. And sadly, when you lose, when the community loses someone who's 15 years old to an overdose, granted, it didn't happen in school, but that could very easily happen in school. Yeah. So the initial push was, let's get this in schools. And as expected, or as, they're not, I don't want to say resistance. I have to be very careful, because all districts are different, and different school districts in every community have different thoughts and priorities and way they want to handle things.
Sure.
And then they have the legal issues, the liability. They want to make sure they're running things through, by their school attorneys, et cetera. But we want to make sure that we have Narcan in every single school district. So some were quick to say, let's get it in here right now. And these are boxes where they're placed in a place where obviously students, faculty, staff could get access to it, just like an AED, or and this is just as important as an EpiPen, whatever we're talking about. But like I said, some districts were very open to it very quickly. Some had resistance, and again, I'm not saying that in a negative manner. Some, like in every community, I don't want to say deny, but don't have the problem and don't want to have the problem. But that problem could be at your doorsteps anytime, at any given time.
Sure.
So in the interim, while we're working through trying to get the boxes installed in every single school district, I assured the county executive and the district attorney that every one of our SPOs, our special patrol officers, and our school resource officers have Narcan on their belts. It's with everything else on their belts. They're trained and they have Narcan with them. So in my mind, my conscience is clear, and our conscience is clear on the committee, that it's at least in the school building, because our SROs and SPOs have them. School nurses obviously have them, but we also want them installed because, again, our people are only in school when it's in session. We're not there at night when there's a school play or a basketball game or you know what I mean? And again, this can happen at any time, and that's part of our goal on the task force, is to also remove that stigma, because that's another thing we deal with. When someone has a family member that's dealing with addiction, we want to make sure everyone in the community that can offer help and resources is rallying around them Just like if someone has a child that's dealing with some other type of disease, and we rally around them, so it helped them get through this. So it's just a multitude of. Our task force is a group of people from all walks of life in this community, and we are on a mission to win this battle, and we're going to do that.
Let me ask you, from a standpoint of the enforcement now, trying to get this off the streets and put the people responsible away. I know there's only so much you can do at the county level. I mean, what is there being progress made at the state and federal level? How deep does this run? How easily is it coming into the area? I mean, can you talk to the enforcement?
Sure.
Of that?
In general terms, it runs real deep. We obviously have a joint narcotics task force or team at our with the sheriff's office and Utica Police Department. We partner with our neighboring sheriff's offices in Madison County with narcotics enforcement. We also have a investigator from our narcotics unit assigned to. On a federal level, dealing with the DEA. So we not only we're right in the mix of it. I mean, we're seeing the trends coming across the country and across state lines, and we have staff that's embedded right in these undercover operations. But again, that's just one part of this whole puzzle of trying to put all the pieces in place, and that's frustrating too. As you know, drug investigations are very lengthy.
Yeah,
they take a lot of time, dealing with search warrants and getting informants and all that stuff. So that's happening while all this other stuff is happening. And the best way I think we can combat this is, like I said, to do a multitude of things. And this one thing about getting Narcan into our community as much as we possibly can, I think that's at least going to save lives. Because at the end of the day, and don't get me wrong, I have critics out there who, when we started arming our people with Narcan out of the gate, some people say, well, if someone's foolish enough to overdose or stick a needle in their arm or take whatever the case may be, then let them be. And I 110% disagree with that. My job as the chief law enforcement officer of the county, our job is to save lives. And that person on the ground that's overdosing is someone's mother, father, son, daughter, brother, sister. And we're going to do I don't care what brought them to that point.
Right.
We're going to do all we can to save their life. And Narcan is one real easy way and real effective way to do that.
Yeah, especially you don't know who's dealing with an addiction problem ever.
Not at
You'll
all.
never know. And, like Jeff said, there's times where a small trace from somebody else could be the result of it. So
and that's the thing.
It's a lot more complicated than I think.
Yeah, and like I said, stigma, we got to remove that. I mean, you're sitting next to someone at a restaurant or in church, or you have no idea what that person is dealing with in their life or their family's life, and that's why, like I said, I don't care about any of that stuff. I care about doing all we can to save lives.
Right.
It's a shocking number. The number of teenagers who have overdosed in Oneida County alone since 2019. I think the number was 66.
The numbers are off the charts. It's scary.
Yeah.
And it's just and I don't want I'm not in denial. I mean, I want to say it's going to go away. I want to say we're never going to have an overdose in a school, but I can't say that because we know it's statistically it's going to happen at some point in time. That's why we need to be ready for it. God forbid the day that it does happen.
I don't have the exact language right here, but Andrew, to your question about the penalties for it, the federal government, if you get convicted of the federal drug statute, I should say, for distribution, manufacture, or possession with intent to distribute for a drug like fentanyl can be very serious. I believe it's a 5-year mandatory minimum in many cases, maximum of 40 years if it's your first offense, and then maybe up to life in prison if it's a second offense.
And again, because we're talking about obviously this stuff is in most cases coming from another country and coming across our borders, and then obviously making its way across state lines. That's why it's critical that us as law enforcement here locally, we're part of the federal task force. We're working with the DEA. We have to be, because that same substance that's entering our country illegally is making its way into our community, and it's just it's very frustrating. But like I said, our task force, our opiate task force, is made up of a group of amazing people. I mean, from all various, like I said, whether we're talking law enforcement, government leaders, services out in the community, service providers. I mean, you look at something just like our peer support program. When there's a drug overdose, and obviously law enforcement reports that through OD mapping, so we can track where these are happening, and obviously we have information, sometimes limited information, about the person who overdosed. But then we're also sending a peer support person, not law enforcement related at all, not to get them into any trouble, but we're sending someone who's dealt with addiction and is, has walked the walk. And they approach these people who have overdosed, and their goal is to get them into a treatment program. Does that work with everybody? No, but we do have documented success stories, and that's great. I mean, if we can save one life, we're doing the right thing here.
We're talking with Oneida County Sheriff Rob Maciol this morning here on the Keeler Show. It is 7:57. Sheriff, before we let you go, are you hopeful? What are you hearing from your your fellow sheriffs across the state? And are you hopeful on some deal to roll back bail reform?
Well, we were very optimistic because the governor finally has. I think the election woke her up a little bit there when she saw
and that most recent Siena poll.
And so she knows that changes need to be made. Getting the least restrictive means out of that would it be a huge step in the right direction. I think it could go a lot farther, but that's a huge step. We're hearing initially that the Assembly and the Senate, especially the folks downstate and some of our larger cities around the state, have dug their heels in. Mm-hmm. But just this morning, part of my routine while I'm drinking my first cup of coffee before I head out to do my chores, I was reading an article where it seems as though the leader of the Assembly may be buckling here and giving in a little bit. Yeah, that's what I just read this morning. I don't know that's a great sign. I mean, they all want the budget to pass on time. Mm-hmm. There's critical things I think that everybody wants in there, and we hope that the governor sticks to her goal here to try to at least make this first change. And seeing the Heastie starting to buckle a little bit, that sounds like a positive sign. So.
Okay. All right, Oneida County Sheriff Rob Maciol, you want to put it in order for a half a cow or something before we let him go?
I'll be talking to you off
Absolutely. It's good stuff.
Sheriff, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
It is 7:58. A quick timeout, and we'll break for news. First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX 950 AM, 106.9 FM. And Andrew is back in studio. You can see him right now on YouTube. Just search,
if you dare,
Keeler live stream. Oh, stop. You look the same as you always did. I'm the one aging 40 times.
I've got grays, and I'm putting on a few.
Yeah, aren't we all?
That's why it's good as haircut time, because then grays go down.
A quick timeout. We'll be right back here on WIBX.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-885-9955. 800-885-9955. That's 800-885-9955.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
An American journalist jailed in Russia. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. This hasn't happened in decades, since the Cold War.
The Russian intelligence agency, the FSB, says Evan Gershkovich was arrested in the Ural mountain city of Yekaterinburg, allegedly trying to get hold of classified information. Russia says Gershkovich was acting on United States orders.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. The Wall Street Journal denies those Russian claims, demanding Gershkovich be released immediately. There's a charred wreckage on the ground in Kentucky and potentially multiple dead soldiers.
The Army's 101st Airborne Division says 2 Black Hawk helicopters were on a routine nighttime training mission from Fort Campbell when they apparently collided over Trigg County, Kentucky late last night. Without specifying a number, the Army says the crash has resulted in several casualties.
Fox's Jack Callahan. People were evacuated from their homes in the middle of the night in Raymond, Minnesota, west of Minneapolis, after a BNSF freight train derailed and caught fire. Some rail cars were carrying ethanol. No injuries are reported. In Nashville,
lay your hands over
Singer Sheryl Crow at a vigil for the 3 students and 3 adults murdered in Monday's shooting at a Christian elementary school.
Nashville comes together like no other place to comfort those who have suffered an unspeakable loss.
Police Chief John Drake also praised his 2 officers who went in and killed the shooter as police keep reading all the writings that the shooter left behind to determine a motive. 2 House Republicans think they already know it.
Texas Congressman Lance Gooden and Tennessee Congressman Andy Ogles have written President Biden's attorney general demanding the shooting be called a hate crime because, quote, this attack was a targeted assault on American Christians.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. Democrats keep pushing for stricter gun laws.
Why won't they pass legislation? Why? Answer the question.
Congressman Jamal Bowman arguing with a Republican in a House hallway. He called the GOP cowards for not supporting gun restrictions. America's listening to Fox News.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation delivers on its promise to do good and never forget the sacrifices America's heroes have made for us. Heroes like U.S. Air Force Senior Master Sergeant Israel Del Turo Jr. When his Humvee exploded in Afghanistan, more than 80% of his body was burned. Del Turo received a mortgage-free smart home from Tunnel to Towers to help him live his life more independently. Help heroes like Del Turo. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at t2t.org.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-838-1441. That's 800-838-1441.
Just days after that.
Mostly sunny skies, 21 degrees. We're going backwards here. WIBX News Time is 8:03. This news update is brought to you by My Carl's Lucky Triple Bonus Sale with 3 bonuses to choose from. Save on your sales tax. Get a free area rug or free interest for 1 full year. My Carl's, New Hartford Shopping Center, and in Destiny, USA. Well, a Central New York pub owner is facing charges related to alleged tax fraud. That's according to the Madison County Sheriff's Office. Officials arresting 49-year-old Douglas Case in connection with the incident. Investigators claim that Case did not file or pay state sales taxes for the business between June of 2017 and February of last year. Investigators say he's now charged with 9 felonies, 1 count of grand larceny, along with 8 other charges. In all, it's believed total taxes owed to the state are in excess of $68,000. Case was arraigned on the charges in Town of Lenox Court and released. He's due to answer the charges at a later date. Well, some big bucks flying around at the Turning Stone Resort Casino recently as the World Series of Poker circuit event visited Central New York. A very well-known poker star on the national level was the big winner. His name is Sean Deeb. And if you see his face, you'd likely recognize him from World Series of Poker events that you may have seen on television or on social media. He's actually from Troy, New York. He won over $275,000 at the events at Turning Stone over the past couple of weeks. You can read about the other winners from New York State on WIBX950.com. Well, New York State getting $100 million to help close the digital divide. Governor Kathy Hochul says federal funding from the American Rescue Plan Act would help connect 100,000 households to affordable, high-speed internet. The program is geared toward underserved communities in rural and urban parts of New York. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer helped secure that money, saying it'll connect communities to good-paying jobs, higher quality education, and better health care. For the second time in less than 2 weeks, a tractor-trailer strikes the bottom of the Onondaga Lake Parkway Bridge near Liverpool. The vehicle hit the span yesterday, but it didn't get stuck underneath the bridge. The exhaust pipe on top of the tractor-trailer's cab did end up getting dented and bent around a bit. No injuries reported. The driver, who is from Maryland, was issued traffic tickets. And I don't know if you saw this, Andrew, but I would imagine you, like me, are excited about this. And I put it up on our website, of course, WIBX950.com. Did you see the Brooklyn Pickle opening date has been announced? No, I got to turn your mic on. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Good food.
Oh, yeah.
I remember from my days. I remember my days as a Lemoyne College student, just when I could afford it. skipping over the boulevard and going to the Brooklyn Pickle there in Syracuse.
So I didn't realize Brooklyn Pickle started in Syracuse in 1975. They have 3 stores. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. 2 in Syracuse, 1 in Liverpool. One's on Genesee Street.
Yeah, the other's like
Burnett Ave.
Right, yeah, I'm not sure. It may be Burnett, but I just know it is. If you're going down 480 or 690, it's off to the one of the exits to the right.
I didn't realize that it started in Syracuse. So Utica will be their 4th store, and actually the 5th store. Do you know where that's going to be?
I don't.
North Carolina. Really? Yeah, I thought the same thing. So
you know, what's nice is it's all part of that building renovation there next to the arterial, and that area is all taking great transformation. Seeing the parking garage being built and all the construction there. It's exciting
Steam Cotton
times.
Building, I think is what it is. So they have announced their grand opening date. You can check it out for yourself at WIBX950.com. I guess I'll let the cat out of the bag. It's Monday morning, April 17th.
Nice.
So still a couple of weeks away.
I love the sandwiches, but ironically, hold the pickle.
Really?
No pickle for me.
Gotcha.
Yuck.
Your Weather Center forecast calling for gorgeous sunshine today, but it's not going to feel that great. Mostly sunny for much of your day with a high of 36 degrees. Increasing clouds this evening and overnight tonight, a low of 22. Chance of snow showers in the morning on Friday, then rain possible for the afternoon, a high of 47. Saturday, rain showers likely, maybe a thunderstorm as well, and we'll have a high of 64 degrees. Won't that feel nice? WIBX News Time is 8:08. Here is, haven't said this in over a year, Andrew with sports on WIBX.
Good morning. The 2023 MLB season is officially getting underway for the first time since 1968. Opening day will feature all 30 MLB teams hitting the diamond. Astros opening the World Series title defense at home against the Chicago White Sox. This is tough to hear. The Phillies looking to rebound from their loss at the Fall Classic as they visit Jacob deGrom and the Rangers. Hard to hear that.
It is a little bit. When he goes on the disabled list, it'll be music to my ears.
Ooh, what a relief. A pair of Cy Young Award winners square off as Sandy Alcantara and the Marlins host Max Scherzer and the Mets. Go Mets. Out west, the Dodgers host the Diamondbacks and the new-look Padres host the Rockies. Let's go Yankees today as well. Their home opener at Yankee Stadium. And, of course, I'd be remiss if I did not mention, for my buddy Jim Piccola, it's also the home opener for the Boston Red Sox. The New York Knicks are hoping for positive news after star forward Julius Randle exited Wednesday's win over Miami. With a sprained left ankle, Randle left the game in the second quarter and did not return. The 28-year-old will undergo further testing today. Randle is averaging a team-high 25.1 points per game and has played in all 77 games for New York so far this season. And the Jets owner is hoping to get an Aaron Rodgers deal done soon, as am I. Woody Johnson spoke at the NFL meetings in Phoenix Tuesday, telling reporters the team is still optimistic about landing the Packers' star quarterback. And the GM for the Packers recently told the media a first-round pick isn't necessary to facilitate an Aaron Rodgers trade. Looks like that is inevitable, but you never know. Is there still a chance Aaron Rodgers ends up on the Packers next season? Do you think the Jets...
What a stunner that would be for the Jets. Richard, who is a Jets fan, I understand, would be...
What a stunner for me! It would be awful. It would be like a torturous thing.
He's a
would
capable quarterback, all right?
Torture.
You want Daniel Jones?
We started to have this discussion, and I apologize I didn't call you back that day.
Right. Right.
And, I do that a lot, and I'm sorry. It's not personal. It's just I get very easily distracted. As you know, you've known me a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think you should rest on Daniel Jones just yet. He has the right coach now, right? I think
right.
Sweeney did a good job last year, and you can only go up from there.
Daboll.
Yeah,
I think he is a good coach. I was surprised he wanted to keep Daniel Jones.
He sees something. I mean, Josh Allen wasn't great his first few years.
Maybe
it
he's
took
right.
It took some work.
So that's a ways away, but the 162-long Major League Baseball season officially begins today.
That means spring's official. Well, actually, the first day of spring means spring's officially here, but baseball season has begun. So
yes, and the first day of spring was like, I don't know, 8 days ago.
Doesn't feel like it.
No,
doesn't feel like it.
It did yesterday afternoon for a little bit, but certainly not today. It's 8:10. No Keeler this morning. He will be back live tomorrow. Andrew Derminio is sitting in. A quick break and a busy hour ahead. First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Are you considering buying an electric vehicle or a plug-in hybrid? Wouldn't it be nice to just fuel up at home with an EV charging station? Potentia is helping to make the convenience of charging easier for your home and your business. As a leader in green electrical projects, Potentia has completed hundreds of large sustainable commercial projects across New York State and are now getting into the residential market. No more stops at the gas station. Charge at home conveniently and economically. With New York State's zero emissions mandate by 2035, Potentia can help design, supply, even install residential and commercial EV charging systems at your home or your business. From permitting and design through the complete installation, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3 with a turnkey EV charging solution with various packages and options available. They guarantee your satisfaction with all their products and their workmanship. Visit Potentia at 4685 Middle Settlement Road, New Hartford. Give them a call at 315-765-6184 or view their website at potentiamanagement.com.
You've never had so much fun listening to the worst singer in the world. This is the amazing true story of Florence Foster Jenkins, a singer whose incredible claim to fame was that she couldn't sing a note. For 2 weekends only, March 24th through April 2nd, Players of Utica presents Glorious, the witty and touching comedy about the disastrous diva directed by Art Felshaw. The setting for the play is New York City in the mid-1940s, where Florence Foster Jenkins practices and performs her unique brand of operatic singing, attracting enthusiastic audiences to her concerts, to the outrage of her critics and the delight of her many fans. With the support of her devoted husband and friends, Florence wins the hearts of the city's rich and famous through her undying love of music, and she'll win yours too. That's March 24th, 25th, 26th, 31st, and April 1st and 2nd, with matinees for Saturday and Sunday performances. Get your tickets for Glorious at playersofutica.org or call 315-724-7624 today. Senior and student tickets are available with proper ID at both the evening and matinee performances.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you're testing your blood sugar 4 or more times per day, injecting insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. A CGM can immediately reduce pain. It's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare, you can get a new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. Plus, get free shipping, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. Call now to receive your new continuous glucose monitor at little or no out-of-pocket cost.
Paid for by U.S. Medical Supply.
Call 800-611-6638. That's 800-611-6638. Again, 800-611-6638. That's 800-611-6638.
Every day at NBT Bank, we focus our business around all the ways we can help yours. We're large enough to offer leading business and digital solutions, but local enough to ensure personalized one-on-one service. So turn to NBT Bank for a full range of business solutions, like capital and treasury management services, even fraud protection, and see how NBT Bank is just the right size to help you do big things. Visit nbtbank.com to learn more and start a conversation. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, 8:15, First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. Bill back live tomorrow. He had something going on today, so we called upon Andrew Derminio to make his return. I can't believe it's been over a year.
I know, and I can't believe the other 5 people you called before me were unavailable, so I'm pretty fortunate.
It was 8 people. It was 8 people, but I knew we'd get somebody.
Oh. Always good to be back.
Ironically, you're in this morning because I didn't know this, but I just found out you are on the board of
the foundational board of CABV. So near and dear to my heart. So this next guest is one I'm excited to have in studio.
Yes, we are joined by Karen Romeo, who is the Rehabilitation and Marketing Manager with CABV. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well. Thank you for having me this morning.
You've got a program coming up. It's a few weeks away, but you're taking registrations in advance. It's a health and wellness program in, I'm going to say it wrong, Mother Caprini? Did I say it right?
Yes, Mother Caprini.
What
yes.
is that?
That's one of our sponsors. So we're very fortunate. There's some community grants available that our organization applies for, and then they give us funds to offer programs to the community and to our consumers for things like this, which is great.
So who is it? Is it only for those who maybe are visually impaired? Who can come?
No, actually, it's open and free to the community members. So our intention with this program is really to educate the community on all of the services that we provide and really give an opportunity for people to come in and see our facility and, really integrate with our rehabilitation specialists and our staff. So it's a really great opportunity.
And the organization has grown over the years and continues to do so. And people would be surprised to find out all that CAVV does and all that goes on at CAVV between the employment of the visually impaired. What Mr. D'Amico's done, and now what our good friend Ed Welsh, former WIBX radio personality, is now the president there. Just the number of people you employ alone is quite impressive.
Yeah, we have about 300 employees right now, of which half are blind or visually impaired, apparently right now. So that's really great. And then we also have our sighted peers. So it's a really integrated community at CAVV, which is fantastic.
And just all of the things that they've done, bringing in the hockey team, and it's just the list goes on.
Yes, and now we're really partnered with the Utica soccer team as well. So that's been a great opportunity for us too.
Nice.
So yeah, it's been really fun. So
how many facilities do you guys operate? I know there was the CAVV offices that I've seen and been to before, but then I was surprised to learn over by where Charlestown used to be. There's like the warehouse, right?
Yes, we have a warehouse there as well. And then our brand new Vision Health and Wellness building, which is right adjacent to Kent Street. And then we also have a manufacturing facility in Syracuse. And then we also have all along the East Coast, we have our different base supply centers, which are basically the base center for our click-on supplies, which is our online retail for our office supplies that we offer as well.
Which is, I think, clickonsupplies.com.
Yes,
I hear
it
the
is.
commercial all the time, of course.
Yes.
And CAVV was essential during the pandemic with PPE production and the works.
Yeah, we were really fortunate. We did not have to lay off any employees during the pandemic, and we actually were deemed an essential employer. And all of the gloves that you see for PPE in all of the airports, we actually process and manufacture right in Utica, which is great.
So again, it's the Mother Caprini Health and Wellness Program. Again, tell us about the program and what it is that you're looking people to do.
Thank you. Yeah, so we're starting on Tuesday, April 18th, and it's going to run for 9 weeks. The first week is just an orientation. We kind of do vitals, get everybody acclimated to our building, and then after that, we have some really great community partnerships. So we're going to be partnering with John Bartholomew at Mohawk Valley Wellness, Eric DeCarlis at the Fitness Mill, Cornell Cooperative Extension. We do yoga. We're going to be doing art and mental wellness, some eco walks. So a really integrated, holistic program to really, educate and invite people different modalities of wellness and why it's so important for their vision.
And for 9 weeks, holy cow! Talk about how often. Is it every single day? Is it for a set time every day?
So it's every Tuesday that we meet in person, but another great benefit that we're offering with this particular program is we're partnering with the Fitness Mill to offer an 8-week membership with them. So we're really trying to offer people the opportunity to take their wellness into their own hands and, do some physical activity even on the days that we're not meeting, which is great.
And this is for anybody?
This is open to anybody, yes. Right. Anyone is welcome to give us a call. We'd love to have you. It's a really great opportunity.
Is there a cost for the program?
It's completely free.
Oh, wow, that's excellent.
Yeah.
So it starts, again, Tuesday, April 18th.
Yes.
But you need people to register in advance. How do they do that?
So they can give us a call at 315-797-2233. Ask for Dylan Drexler or myself. They can also email dylanD@cabv.org.
All right, excellent.
And, of course, if you've got old vehicles that you don't have a use for and you'd like a tax write-off, Vehicles for Vision is a great program.
It is.
You can find out more about that by visiting CAVV's website as well.
All right, excellent. Karen, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, gentlemen.
A quick time out. We'll come back. First news, Keeler in the morning here on WIBX 950 AM and 106.9 FM.
Adam and Grace finally made it to retirement. They decided this was their time. They drove in from Herkimer to Mattress Express in New Hartford on Commercial Drive in the Hannaford Plaza next to Red Lobster. They wanted to see the number bed they'd heard so much about. Adam had a bad back. He liked his side firm. We elevated his head, his feet, put the massage on medium. He said he hadn't felt that comfort in years. Grace liked her side softer. She was a 24. She had her head elevated slightly less, her feet a little higher, and the massage on high. They were thrilled to find out it had a 25-year industry-leading warranty. They qualified and signed up for the 5 years, no interest, no money down, so they didn't have to wait for their tax return. For their luxury reward, they chose a 65-inch flat-screen TV. They laid on the Purple and the Puffy, the big online brands while they were there, but the number bed was for them. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS or go to mattressexpressny.com or visit any store.
Ew, gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks, no matter how many times I've washed it.
Tell me why.
No, you tell me why I can't get rid of this odor.
Have you tried new Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors, it helps remove them.
Wow, it worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in one wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy laundry products. Save on Downy Rinse and Refresh at Target.
Inflation is nothing more than legalized theft, because with every new round of money printing, the value of your 401k or IRA is decreased through the dilution of the money supply. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and while you can, I highly recommend you consider physical gold for your retirement account. Why? Because gold provides real wealth preservation that can withstand anything. Even better, with a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group, you pay no penalties or taxes when you transfer your current retirement funds. To learn more, text the word HEDGE to 989898. And my friends at Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold IRA company I trust, so text HEDGE to 989898 to request your free info kit right now.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
8:23 back here on WIBX. Jeff Manaski and Andrew Derminio. Bill is back live tomorrow, and we say good morning to Rick Lewis from the Rome Capitol Arts Complex. Did I get it right?
Rick E. Lewis.
There you go.
There you go. Rick
How many times do I have to say that?
I remembered. Rick.
100.
Ricky. I remembered.
100 times.
E. It's very important.
Come on.
Otherwise, people are going to hit me up for money like that other Rick Lewis.
So what's going on? Thanks for coming in. You got a lot of stuff going on this weekend.
I got my
your winter coat back on.
Well, you know why?
What?
I was half asleep drinking coffee, and I kept hearing about opening day.
Right.
And then Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, it's football season already? I get in the car.
I was asleep for a long time.
I said, wow, it's snowing and everything. Is the season half over? Yeah.
Well, he's got his Steelers jacket on.
I feel like Rosanna, Anna, Dana. Never mind.
No, it is opening day, believe it or not. And hopefully it'll be a little bit warmer down in the city. For the Mets are on the road to start?
Florida.
So they'll be enjoying the game.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Well, so, Rick, you got a couple of things coming on, going on this weekend.
Over at the Capitol, like Friday. I mean, did you guys, I'm a little older than that, to have been watching these movies when I was a kid. I remember Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I remember going to the movie theater to see this movie, and I thought it was a big deal because to that point, I had only seen the cartoon vision.
Right.
And then when they came out with a movie with actual characters, I mean, obviously they were in costumes, heavy costumes, but I just was like, wow, I couldn't picture it not as a cartoon. So I remember still being in the movie theater being like, wow, this is really cool. Now, the movie wasn't great. It wasn't. They don't have a cult following like,
Although it's seen a resurgence.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe they do. Maybe I'm wrong here, yeah.
Well, you know what? It's really interesting is that there's a person who's one of the sponsors of Utica Vintage, and they have vintage material from the 90s and early 2000s. I go, vintage?
I know,
vintage?
what the heck?
Vintage? So
what is that?
This movie is a vintage movie?
Oh,
boy. but there's a resurgence of people that are into doing that kind of thing. I guess it's like if you go back to the 70s and there were all the Happy Days stuff coming around, after 20 or 30 years.
When we start to see the return of cassette tapes, like people are starting to buy like cassette players, then we can I'll really feel old.
Yeah, I saw they're making actually vinyl.
Yeah.
Is making a resurgence. So I see this ad, convert your your tapes, your mixtapes, to vinyl. I go, wait, you're going to take a crappy cassette tape that you made of a scratchy record, and now you're going to take that and make a record out of it?
Hey, listen.
Yeah, it's like saying scrap your car and build a wagon. Right? Going backwards here.
Well, and even to my sister Mary, she's graduating from high school this year, and the big talk for her is vinyl, and Taylor Swift's new album's coming out on vinyl, and it's like all the rage.
And then you can say, hey, do you have a record player? Well, no, but it looks cool, doesn't it?
Yeah, right.
That's sort of the fascination, but truly vintage on Saturday at the Capitol Theater is going to be the April Fool's comedy movies show with lots of films from 1920s.
Wow.
Now that's vintage.
Yeah.
Yes,
that was silent film era.
I don't think there's too many people who say, well, when I was a kid, I don't know about that.
Yeah, right.
And I have to say, those who put the performance on 100 years ago, a silent comedy. Think about that. I mean, where's the punchline, right? There's no da-doom.
Well, I mean,
it's a silent comedy.
Well, you have the organist, and the thing is about the organist, there's a real, authentic 1928 organ there, and you forget
cool.
in the day of modern technology, you keep seeing this guy playing there with his back to the audience.
Yeah, right.
He's playing, and you got to remember, this isn't a synthesizer. There are real pipes in the rafters.
Yeah, that's incredible.
There's real pipes up there, and all those sounds. There's actually a horn when you push the button on the keyboard.
Yeah, that's cool.
It squeaks the horn, and when you forget about that, but when you sit there and you're listening to the sound, and you go, wow, it sounds different.
Mm-hmm.
It's really three-dimensional because of that fact, and you really notice it. I wasn't thinking about it, and I would sit there, wow, it sounds really cool in here. I said, ooh.
And what you mentioned it is what you mentioned, Jeff, about where's the punchline, but those silent film stars, that whole era gave way for some of your favorites like the Honeymooners and
I used to like the
Three Stooges and
Three Stooges.
Abbott and Costello. I
That
mean, it
slapstick
kind of
humor.
right.
Yeah.
It kind of gave way for all that.
Yeah, and Buster Keaton and Charlie Chaplin and Laurel and Hardy, three classics of that era, and obviously Laurel and Hardy transferred over to the talkies.
Laurel and Hardy, you know what I used to call them as a child? Again, I would watch whatever my grandmother was watching, and I watched a lot of old shows. But Laurel and Hardy, to me, for probably, from the time I was 4 or 5 until I was maybe 10 or 11, I never knew their names. You know what I always called them? Fat and Skinny. And my whole family knew that if I was talking about Fat and Skinny,
Well, that
it
could
was
be
Laurel
Abbott and
Hardy.
Costello, too, though.
It could be. But Laurel and Hardy, I always called Fat and Skinny.
Well, I think Family Guy actually had a joke about how Charlie Chaplin, when he finally made it to like the talking films, like it was like not the same. It was like, stick to the silent films there.
Yeah.
We're talking with Rick Lewis from the Rome.
Rick E. Lewis.
Rick E. Lewis.
Come on, I got to keep you on track here this morning.
I got a buzz that goes,
or an organ.
There you go.
Rick E. Lewis from the Rome Capitol Arts Complex. A couple of movies this weekend. You mentioned one, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That is tomorrow at 7. The April Fool's silent movie comedy night is Saturday at 7 p.m. Do I have that right so far?
Right. It's also in the afternoon at 2:30.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Yeah,
how much to go to one of the shows?
Well, you've got the list right there on your screen.
I do.
I have to say too, while
you were
he's
taking
searching for
over.
that, I'm gonna give Jeff a little bit of break here to look for that. This seems like a simple thing, but the popcorn maker at the Capitol is delicious.
Oh my gosh!
It's hot, buttery, and I love it.
And people love movie theater popcorn.
Yes.
It doesn't like AMC sell it in
They
a bag.
sell it, yeah.
I saw it at Walmart. I had heard about it on the news, and I go,
that's not the same.
Wow, come on. Well, we bagged popcorn.
You did it
for the
a while.
COVID, yes.
During
Yeah,
COVID,
but that's
we
coming
used to,
from
we used to
the
bag
machine.
it.
Yeah.
We bagged
that's
it.
fresh.
And people would stop by, pick up popcorn, go home,
Yeah.
and stream a movie.
So good.
There you go.
It was a great idea. So advance sale tickets available. Adults are $10, seniors $8, Capitol Friends $6, and children are $3. Excuse me.
Yeah.
You wanted to mention the Rome Arts Hall of Fame induction as well.
Yeah, they just announced the inductees today, and all their names and everything are on our website, also on our Facebook page. And that event, actually, the induction ceremony, isn't until May 7th. but we're getting the word out now.
Yeah. And kudos to you for all you've done there. It's really been a transformation.
It's not me. It's the marquee.
Well, it takes a little bit to get there. You were the conduit.
It's like a magnet up in the sky. It attracts attention and
a lot of good things happening in Rome.
Yeah, and Rick E is an outside the box thinker, so it's always interesting to see
and
to see what you're working
wish
on.
I was out of town, not just the box.
So let me ask you, how do you come up with, for instance, a movie like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Who decides that that's what we're going to play this weekend, and why do you come up with it?
Well, I had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Because
I was going to give you credit, but
no,
I take it back.
No.
Only if it succeeds, he wants credit. If it's a flop, he doesn't want anything to do with it.
No, John is the assistant director, and Darian, who is also a graphic artist and administrative assistant, they grew up with these films, and they love them. And I'm like, well, the only thing I remember was Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
But that's always watching those after a hangover, laying in bed watching.
Well, there was Beavis and Butthead and all that.
So, but they were the ones who came up with this as why not 2K? It's like, well, okay, it's all films from like the 90s and early 2000s, and that they grew up with, and so. Okay, let's see it. Now, a lot of these people who grew up then are now parents with kids, and just like people watch the Warner Brothers cartoons because they grew up with them and they bring their kids to them, and so this is sort of ushering of the new millennium of cartoon animation for the whole family.
Nice.
So once again, it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Friday night tomorrow, 7 p.m., and Saturday at 7 p.m., the April Fool's silent movie comedy night. You're going to correct me because there's afternoon shows, and I skipped that part.
Yeah, I know, the 2:30 matinee.
Go to the website and the social media, right?
That's right. You can go to the website at RomeCapital with an O, capital.com, and check out all the details.
Also, as you mentioned, the Rome Hall of Fame induction ceremony is coming up on Sunday, May 7th. You can get more information about that on the website as well, RomeCapital.com. So the Why Not 2K movie series will continue beyond?
Oh, yes.
And do you know what else is coming up?
Yes, SpongeBob SquarePants.
I was just going to say that wasn't, you mentioned, people who have kids now are kind of having their kids watch what they did. That's a big one, too.
Yeah, we played a few weeks ago. Rugrats was on.
Yep.
And so they're continuing. It's Parent Trap. And I'm going completely off my memory on that one. But Parent Trap is also a film that's playing, coming up soon.
My son, who's now 7, I tried to get him into the stuff that I watched growing up. Now, believe it or not, SpongeBob was just after me. It was more like my brother's 5 years younger. It was more his generation. But that's really the only thing I would say, I don't want to say old, but kind of throwback. He'll do Scooby-Doo, love Scooby-Doo.
He does love Scooby-Doo.
And what was the other one we just mentioned?
Honeymooners.
No. SpongeBob. And Scooby-Doo.
You haven't introduced him to the Honeymooners?
Oh, he doesn't care. Black and white. I can't even get my friends to watch it. How's my 7-year-old kid going to watch it?
It's unfortunate. We're old souls, Joe.
Yeah. Well, I had lots of people who were parents. They hated SpongeBob.
Yeah.
At that point, it was thought to be
like
inappropriate.
Bart Simpson,
right?
the same way, you know.
Yeah.
Parents hate him. I hate him. Kids love it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want my kid watching that Bart Simpson. He's going to start saying those things too.
I know.
You know, and they're probably right.
Yeah. Well, how edgy those programs, both of them were thought to be
compared to what there is now.
And then, you compare them to now, and it's like it's pretty mild.
Well,
tame.
What? They're tame.
Simpsons and SpongeBob, I think.
Tame compared to what?
Family Guy, South Park.
Yeah.
My son also watches this YouTube.
Right.
And anything goes. There's there's really no standard. And so we have to, we have the parental controls on, and I'll watch it with him. And he says, I love my son's mispronunciations. He'll be like, Dad, trust me, it's appropriate. I tell him we're not watching anything that's inappropriate. Whoa. So there's a lot of stuff suggestive and on and on. And I just thought as a child that those were programs thought to be like kind of edgy. Kids thought it was cool.
Well, they are edgy when you consider they're coming from the networks. The networks, all these things you're talking about don't play on the networks. You don't see those on, hi, it's Saturday morning. Let's watch American Dad.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? There are other outlets for them. So, yeah, they're not as they're not as edgy by today's standards of all the places you can get things on the internet and the nosebleed channels,
series.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
But if you go to the networks, they're playing the kind of cartoons that you want your kids to watch, but your kids want nothing to do with.
Yeah.
I do this every day.
They want to watch American Dad.
Yeah. Family Guy.
Yeah, Family Guy.
Which is awesome. It is pretty hilarious.
Well, yeah, it is. It's hilarious, but it's not made for kids.
Right. It's not appropriate.
But
it's not appropriate.
It's not appropriate. But they have found an outlet and a channel to be able to watch that. The originally playing on Fox, those cartoons.
Yeah.
I think they kind of have to migrate away over to where are they playing now? Comedy Central or
Hulu
Cartoon Network?
Yeah.
They can't really play that anymore in those kind of time slots.
So I'll keep the E this time. Rick E. Lewis.
There you go.
Thanks for stopping in again. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles tomorrow. The silent comedy on Saturday. And you can get all the information at Rome Capital. That's capital with an O. RomeCapital.com.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for having me in here.
A quick timeout. We'll come back, and we're going to get some thoughts on the rebrand of Munson. What happened there? What's that all about?
People are losing their minds.
It'll always be the Munstitute to me.
The Munstitute. Very good. We'll talk about that coming up in just a minute. First news, Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
I can't take this kitchen any longer. Carl, we need to start looking for a new house.
Honey, you know the housing market is tight. It's going to be next to impossible to find something that we like.
I know, but this kitchen has to go.
Hey, what about a home equity loan from Adirondack Bank? We can turn the equity from our home into cash to renovate, just the way you want.
Renovate?
Adirondack Bank has competitive rates, and they've been a trusted community bank for decades.
A new kitchen. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
Then, of course, we would need new furniture, and we could repair the deck, even add a pool, and take that trip to Italy that we've always talked about.
Whoa, slow down, honey. Let's go talk to the experts at Adirondack Bank about that home equity loan. Then we can decide where to start.
I've always wanted to add on a craft room, and our bathroom needs a facelift.
Don't move. Improve. Stop into your local Adirondack Bank branch for more information on a home equity loan or visit AdirondackBank.com. Bank local with Adirondack Bank, your hometown community bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Are you ready to make the most important decision for your child's future? Some are easy, some are not. Some make all the difference, like choosing Notre Dame schools. Offering grades pre-K through 12, your child will be ready to learn and thrive in a challenging atmosphere surrounded by great teachers and the most current technology. Notre Dame offers small class sizes, high academic standards, and spiritual fulfillment. At Notre Dame, we foster an environment of diversity and community. Students feel supported and more confident in achieving their goals. Our students learn from each other and are challenged to grow and develop their innate talents. Notre Dame is faith-based, but everyone is welcome. If you have higher expectations for your child, Notre Dame offers a higher level experience. If you're ready to launch your child's future into the most successful career path and build the next generation of leaders, call today for a tour or visit NotreDameUtica.org. Notre Dame schools ready to learn, destined to lead.
At AmeriQ Credit Union, we believe real connections matter, today more than ever. Whether it's connecting you to the right solutions to achieve your goals, new technology to make banking easier, or a real person to help you succeed, we'll be here. In person, online, or anywhere in between. Creating meaningful connections that make you feel like you belong. AmeriQ and you. Let's connect. Membership restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Cards issued by Celtic Bank, member FDIC. Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 3.5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. RAMP.com/free.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ziprecruiter.com/free.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, 8:41, First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. Bill is out today. He's back live tomorrow. Andrew Derminio is filling in.
Hello.
So just a few minutes left in the program. You can get your comments in via the WIBX 950 app. We'll close the show with those. Unfortunately, the phone lines are down this morning. Smitty's been in there doing nothing all day. I don't even think you should get paid for your performance today. Go ahead, Smitty.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Smitty's been helping keep us on the air here, and we appreciate that as always. Joining us in studio, Anna D'Ambrosio, the president and CEO of, I was going to give her the long name, but it's only Munson now.
Only Munson now, right. And exactly because so you can remember it, right? Easy to remember, and after years of discussion, research, talking with community members, doing digital surveys and focus groups, we wanted to rebrand so that we would have a stronger brand. We could better represent how we are a multifaceted arts organization. And with the longer name, we found that people didn't use the whole name. People had nicknames for us. People got the names mixed up. And people didn't understand the meaning of the name.
Munson Williams Proctor Arts Institute is certainly a mouthful. And what happens is, as you said, people come up with their own nicknames.
Right.
This actually gives you
a lot of people were already calling it Munson.
They did, right, absolutely. That was, when we did some of the digital surveys, one of the questions we asked is, what do you call the organization?
Yeah.
And lots of people did say Munson.
Yeah.
So this is part of a 5-year plan, right? And we've reached this phase. We'll get into the rebranding of the property, the campus as well.
Sure.
That'll be going on. But so you made this announcement this week, and I was surprised to hear some people hate change. Some people are like, why are you doing this? I'm sorry. That was my interpretation of them, not yours.
People don't like change. People perhaps haven't understood the change and understand all the thinking behind it and all of the community voices that are behind it, and to understand the branding behind it, because it's very important to have a strong brand when we are certainly first a local and regional organization.
Yeah.
But we have an international museum of art that is well known. We land internationally all the time. We have our Pratt Munson College of Art and Design, which is also very international. 25% of our students come from overseas, and most of the other students come from across the United States. So having a strong name that has meaning behind it and that people can understand is important. And one of the things that's really important about the change is that it's all based on our own history, right? So we're not closing the door to the past. We actually are building on that so much. We are an organization that, since we opened our doors to the public in 1936, has thrived on change. So that first generation of people at our organization who knew Mariah Proctor, she was the last family member. She died in 1935. They wanted to build the Philip Johnson building, right? They tore down Mariah and Tom's house, and many other houses in the neighborhood, and built this internationally, star architect building that's now in the state and national historic registers. 23 years ago, we started with Pratt Institute and formed a College of Art and Design and transformed our neighborhood. We added arts to our name. We made it longer in 2001, right? Because people then didn't understand who we are.
Yeah.
And we have always had this fabulous square icon in different modalities, representing the building. And so this is just a newer, fresher take on it. So the name, the colors, the font, it's all based on our own history.
Yeah.
right? And we will always cherish our history. We have the founders galleries. We've got portraits of the founders. In my career at Munson, I have published on that family. I've done books, articles, catalogs, exhibitions. We will never disregard how important the founding families are to us. And just one more thing, I'll say.
Of course.
And
No,
Munson,
sorry.
you can tell I've been talking about this a lot, right?
Yeah. No, but it's important for you to get it out. Yeah.
And Munson is the name that runs through all 3 generations of one single family. It's not 3 different families and we tossed one family aside. It's one family, and Munson runs through all 3 generations of it.
See, I had no idea about that. Actually, that was the question I was going to ask you to talk about. It was well, what you just said. I'll butcher it if I try to explain it, but it was all 3 families, one line.
Right.
It's not like one of the founders or something got booted off the board.
No, right.
Yeah. Well, I think the important thing for people to remember is, that's the new name, but nothing. I mean, a lot of the things are staying the same. I mean, it's going to be positive growth, but you're still going to probably have, and correct me if I'm wrong, the sidewalk art show in the summer, and you're going to have all the same, great things that the museum has always provided.
We're not changing what we do.
Yeah.
We're changing how we talk about ourselves a little bit.
Yeah. And that's fine because, listen, people in the arts community across the world, as you mentioned, they know Utica for Munson and, a lot of other organizations around town. So I think it's, it looks good and it's positive to always try to freshen things up. You have to.
Right.
You have to keep things fresh.
Speaking of freshening things up, there will be some changes on the campus as well, right? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so we are just completing a campus master plan. So we were doing these 2 projects, the branding and the master plan, in tandem. So it's been a little busy. But we used a firm out of New York City, and we wanted to look at our entire campus. We have about 10 acres, and we have 25 buildings.
Wow.
Right.
I didn't realize that.
I know, right?
Yeah, I didn't
Because
either.
you think of the Genesee Street, the main Museum of Art buildings.
Yes.
And but Munson is multifunctional, right, with a school, performing arts, and that school is community arts and the Pratt Munson program. And so we wanted to look at our 25 buildings and how people move between them, how we use them, how they're set up, and how we can better serve the public. And our green spaces, too, in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Well, I always, some of my fondest memories as a kid were the field trips to Munson.
Oh, thank you.
And you still do that, I'm sure, having kids
Right,
from
yeah,
the
right
elementary
now we have
schools.
all the 2nd and 3rd graders from the entire Utica School District are coming the next month.
Nice, yeah.
There's going to be some revamping of public green spaces. I thought this was interesting. A maker's studio and studio classrooms. Can you talk about those and how are those different?
Right, so that's a longer-term project, but we'd love to take one of our buildings and create a maker's space. So a space that would be available to our community arts and Pratt Munson students, but maybe also open to the public.
Cool.
So that if you wanted to do 3D printing, for example, right? So I don't know, most people don't have 3D printers at home, I
No.
don't think, right? So you could come and do that, or maybe there's a certain tool that you would need, but as an artist, and we would have that type of thing available to you where you could come in and use our space and have a real great hub of community activity.
Yeah, and it's important, too, especially with, the kids. You really want to get kids engaged in the arts, and that's probably a good way to do that as well.
Right, right.
I know you know this better than anybody, but obviously the rebrand is Munson, but there's the issue of the website, which is always, right, it's always was it always the longer one?
So the website was MWPAI.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So how do you get somebody who isn't familiar with you, who now knows you as Munson, to find that on the web? How do you? I mean, Google's
Just
great.
Google it.
Good.
Yeah, Google's
Right,
great.
Google. That's where we all start. The website address is fabulous. It's munson.art.
Oh, okay. And it takes you right back to the same place.
Right,
Munson.art.
Munson.art, and
Pretty easy.
the webpage has been
yeah.
reskinned, fabulous new design on it, easier. We've tried to make the navigation. Great opportunities with all of this to make the navigation easier, to make how we talk about ourselves easier, all for the visitor to the website. And we have great weekend coming up, too. We have spring weekend at Munson this weekend.
Nice. Well, it's talk about change. Remember, you used to have to say www before a website. Now you don't got to do that anymore.
Right. Well,
You
that
think
was
everybody might know that by now.
yeah, by now. Yes.
Right.
Can you talk about spring weekend? What do you got going on?
Sure. So we have our Art in Bloom exhibition in the Museum of Art. It's something we only do every other year, and local floral designers and florists are
cool.
invited to create incredible just beautiful, huge floral arrangements that interpret a work of art in the gallery. And so then the beautiful floral arrangement is exhibited in front of a work of art, and it's an interpretation of the work of art. We have the Met Live on Saturday, so we stream Met Live performances, and seeing it in our auditorium is really special because you see all sorts of behind the scenes.
Yeah.
During sets change and during intermission, there's commentary. So that's a really fun view of the Metropolitan Opera. We have Keyboard Conversations that's with Jeffrey Siegel on Saturday evening in the auditorium. And then with the Art in Bloom exhibition, there's workshops and a closing ceremony and awards on Sunday.
Awesome.
Workshops on Saturday, closing on Sunday.
Well, congratulations on everything, and you've done a great job over the years. And, I think, for the few people that are upset by this, as Jeff was saying earlier in the program, it's just going to become embedded and they'll move on. And, we'll just think about the progress of moving forward for the museum.
Right. Thanks, Andrew.
Anna D'Ambrosio, the president and CEO of, I was going to say Munson William Proctor Arts Institute.
Right.
Don't do that.
Munson. And you can check out their new website and get all the information on the rebrand. Just go to munson.art. Anna, thank you.
Great to be here.
A quick time out. We'll come back with more. First news, we'll wrap it up with Andrew. He's only back for one day, and there's only a few minutes left. So you can send a message via the app. We'll wrap it up here for a Thursday morning. First news, Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Hi, I'm Max Carbone, sales manager at Power Sports Utica. We are currently overstocked on 2023 Ski-Doo models, and we are offering up to $2,000 off sticker plus a $500 gift card for anything in the store. Kawasaki KLR models have $1,000 in rebates as well, and we have all colors and trims available in stock and ready for delivery. Kawasaki KLX models have $400 in rebate and up to $1,500 off KX models. Come visit us at Power Sports Utica, Central New York's Four Seasons Toy Store.
This is Harry G., the heat pump expert from Country Suburban. When your state planning to eliminate fossil fuels, heat pumps are the wave of the future. Heat pumps can save you up to 30% or more on your heating and cooling bills. Right now, you can receive up to $20,000 in heat pump incentives. Call 315-735-5300 for a free estimate.
Offer good while funds are available.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/radio. That's 4hims.com/radio for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, back here a Thursday morning. First news, Keeler in the morning on WIBX. No Bill this morning. He's back tomorrow. Don't panic. But Andrew, you will be gone.
Yes, and I'm very honored to have been asked to come fill in. And I'm going to come back hopefully more often.
Yeah, maybe I'm going to get out of here for a couple of days coming up soon.
You deserve a vacation, really. But no, it's great to be back. It's great to. I wish I could hear from a few people, but of course, it's kind of apropos that on the day that I'm here, there was a power outage and we had some technical difficulties. So I feel like that's
and I'll tell you,
tip of the cap to the.
You did well. You still get up early in the morning? You didn't even look tired when you came in.
I do not get up early in the morning.
No? Oh.
No. So I was actually kind of nervous. I was, kind of up most of the night with excitement because it's been a while, and it's good to be back. And it's crazy that it's almost time to go, but, it's always a good time.
Show goes by quick. Lance and Lee. Jeff, you should look into doing girls' fast pitch games. There are weekends in the summer. You can make pretty good money. Games are timed. Fields are smaller. Rules are very similar to baseball. Hey, look, I'm not opposed to it.
What'd you say, Smitty?
Can I just get back to the conversation to you real quick?
Sure.
Of course.
Say after the first month, what week you left last year, did you still wake up at 5 a.m.?
Yeah, I mean, your body still is, getting used to it, but I kind of trained myself to sleep in pretty
Training
pretty
real
quickly.
hard.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
you're
that's all right.
fine. No, you're fine.
Smitty,
It's good to see Smitty. And
The countdown is on. We're just minutes away from 9 a.m., so we'll be 4 hours and 5 minutes. Right now, we're 4 hours and 9 minutes from the 2023 start of the Yankees baseball season. Smitty, how do you feel going into it?
I'm a little concerned about the pitching.
Well,
Carlos
that's always the
Rondon, the
case.
$6 million, 6-year man, is on the DL. Couple relievers, Tommy Canley is on the DL. Harrison Baber, who's supposed to be the starting center fielder, is on with oblique on the DL.
Yeah, that's early, though.
I'm okay.
Yeah, early in the season.
I'm just a little iffy about the shortstop bringing up this young
Yeah, so let's talk about him for a minute. I'm going to say his last name wrong.
Evaldi.
Volpe. What do you think of him?
Well, they're saying that he's the next Derek Jeter.
Yeah, but that's never a good thing, right?
Yeah.
That's
You
a lot
set
of
the expectations
Yeah,
way
it's a
too
lot of
high.
pressure on a young guy.
But I'll say I'm excited for Yankee season. I'm not a big fan of Brian Cashman. I think that he's made a lot of terrible decisions. I'm not a big fan of Aaron Boone. He's still at the helm, but we'll see what happens. It's a new season.
Yeah, I think Aaron Judge is going to have a productive season. He ain't going to hit 62. I think about 45, 51 home runs. And DJ LeMahieu is going to turn around. And Josh Donaldson, we're paying him $23 million for the next 2 years.
Unbelievable. It's robbery.
Hope.
It's robbery. It's like walking into a convenience store with a mask and a gun.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
And then
Smash and grab.
Gleyber Torres, who knows about him? I'm feeling optimistic about the
I can tell, Smitty. You sound optimistic in there. Can I just tell you, you're right on a lot of what you said, but the Josh Donaldson thing is just unbelievable to me. I mean, and I said this last year, and again, people would say, you're hating on the Yankees. Well, whatever, I wasn't. It's the truth. Watch Josh Donaldson. He frequently gets beat on 84-mile-an-hour fastballs. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Go ahead.
So
$23 million a year. Are you kidding me?
So one other point. So if this shortstop struggles for like the first week, do you think the New York media is going to say, they made the wrong decision, put IKF in, Isaiah Counter-Flippa?
If he goes over 3 today with 3 strikeouts, they're going to say they made the wrong decision. The New York media is always going to look for an angle. They need to get their clicks, right? They're going to say whatever they need to say that's outrageous. I don't think – look, he's got to grow into it. We'll see what happens. It's a giant stage. Nobody thought Derek Jeter was going to be Derek Jeter before he Derek Jetered it.
Well,
so.
I'll just say it's early in the season, and as we're running low on time, I'd be remiss if I didn't do the shameless plug. Sell your house. If you're thinking about it.
Go ahead. I'll give you the last.
Please
right here. You can
sell.
do Bills Live for today. 60 seconds. Go ahead.
You can seriously, River Hills Properties, full service approach. You never use a lockbox. You've got the book. You've heard Bill talk about it all the time. But really, it's a great time to sell your home. Don't be nervous about the interest rates. Yes, they're high, but they're really not compared to when people 30 years ago were buying their house at a 14% interest rate. They're right around 6 or 7 now, but people are still out there trying to buy homes. The inventory is very stark, very limited, and if your house is in good shape, still standing, and you price it right, odds are there will be a buyer for you. So if you want me to have the honor of listing your home, I would be honored. Just search Andrew Derminio on Facebook, or if you can easily find my cell phone number, 315-272-7419.
Oh, that was brave.
Give me a call, and I will help you out. River Hills Properties. Nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
Impressive, man. You just said, look, if your house is still standing, I'll sell it. Okay? All the other stuff, we'll get through that. As long as it's still standing, trust me, I can sell it. Andrew
Thank
Domenico,
you for having me.
River
Seriously.
Hill Properties. I didn't have a choice. It was Bill's idea. I'm so glad you were here, though. WIBX 950 Utica, Rome. It is 9 o'clock.
He's now formally charged, awaiting trial. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. An American journalist jailed in Russia Evan Gershkovich, a Wall Street Journal reporter.
The charge being made against him is that he was gathering state secrets about a military industrial complex agency, and he was doing it at the behest of the United States. We have a statement from the Wall Street Journal, and they say, in part, the Wall Street Journal vehemently denies the allegations from the FSB.
And Fox's Greg Palcott says the Journal demands Gershkovich's immediate release. They're mourning the loss of a still unknown number of soldiers from Fort Campbell.
We've learned this crash has sadly claimed the lives of some members of the 101st Airborne Division. There's still a lot to learn, but we do know